Shalom Israel, welcome back to our Wednesday night class, and hope all is well. Hope everybody's doing well. The water for those that are watching online. Also, the water for those that decided to come in class live and in person, taking out their time and seeing us and getting a chance to fellowship amongst each other. Shalom to you as well. Mighty shalom to Kawakab down in Guatemala and Amiadza in London. Shout out and shalom to all our brothers in California, Canada, Costa Rica, and overseas as well. Shout out to our brothers in Houston, Virginia, and Rochester. Stream of Wisdom, great work brothers are doing, great classes. Check them out as well. Those are our brothers, and we fight and push in this truth as often as possible, and we fellowship with those men as often as possible as well. Shout out and shalom to you as well, brothers. So before we get started, the motivation behind this class, the title of the class is called "Is This Opportunity Knocking?" Because what tends to happen is you will notice that when you come to serve the Lord, there'll be different things to gain your attention. There'll be different opportunities that will present itself to you, and it will be hard to decipher, is this opportunity from the Most High, or is this a pursuit that I'm looking for within myself? Am I pursuing this more than the Most High? Is this me? Am I doing? Is the Most High answering my prayers? What is this? And how do I interpret when things come my way and I have an opportunity to exercise the acquisition of these opportunities or to reap the benefits from them? What do I do? And so we're going to go here because you will, at some point in time, get something, an opportunity that feels like it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I got to do this or else. You know, this is my opportunity. It's my chance. I got to go for broke. This is what I've been waiting on all my life. So there's a lot of things that will feel like it's right, and I got to get it now. I got to do this now. So the issue that we have is we don't know where this comes from, because part of it could be part desire, part of it could be a blessing in disguise. We don't know. So how do we approach these things? Before we go to the scriptures that we have on the screen, let me get Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 9, verse 11. We'll start with that first. Ecclesiastes, I'm just going to modify this slightly. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 9, verse 11.
What page is that in the black book? Somebody help keep up with that, so people that are new can know what page to be on.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 9 and verse 11. Ready, sir?
All right, I'm ready.
I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift.
He said, I saw under the sun that the race is not to who?
Not to the swift.
So we know that in the truth, it's a long game. You're going to be the truth is about sustaining over a long period of time. And that's the key to making it in this work. Is it's not like things happen overnight. Things are going to be in your favor overnight. And it's critical that you understand this, that change, you didn't become the way you are overnight, and neither will you refine yourself overnight as well. And so it takes time. And also to get understanding and to get strong in what you're doing, it's going to take time. And you have to understand that it's a long game. He said, read it one more time.
Come. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift.
He said the race is not to the what?
To the swift.
So when you're in this race, it's not how fast you run this race. Because if you run this race fast and it's about acquisition and growth and movement, and things don't pan out the way you want, then what happens to your mentality?
People become dejected.
Yeah, the scripture says that a hope deferred maketh the heart what?
Sick.
So if I don't get what I'm racing to get, and I don't get what I'm trying to rush to get, and it's not happening overnight, and I'm not where I want to be overnight, then what starts happening to me in this race? I start to slow down. I start off the race too fast, so I got to pace myself. I start slowing down, and then I just give up and quit.
I should be here. This should be my situation. This should be my identity. My identity doesn't match the scenario I had planned. I don't have the vision I had planned for myself. Doesn't fit the moment now. Why? What's wrong with me? What am I dealing with? What's the problem?
What's the problem? You'll start asking yourself these questions. But also, next brother, real quick, we're gonna hold that. We're gonna come right back to it. Give me Matthew chapter 13, verse 19. Matthew chapter 13, verse 19.
681.
And that's why it's important to know that this is not a fast-paced race.
God.
Being in the truth is an endurance run.
Yeah.
It's not a sprint.
Sometimes you gotta walk.
Yeah.
I watched endurance races up, and I be seeing them walk. Like, why are you walking?
Sometimes you gotta walk.
But you got to walk. You run that long.
And you watch David Goggins do a 100-mile race. There's times where he crapped his own pants and kept running.
Yeah.
Or walked for a while, broke bones and had to keep crawling.
Yeah.
But he's showing that in a race that's over time, you can't move at the pace you want to move, and things are not going to happen and evolve when you want it at the snap of a finger. Read that right there.
Come. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 19 reads, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom,
Go ahead.
and understandeth it not.
If there's a delay, or if there's a misunderstanding in knowing what type of race that I'm in, and I don't understand that this is a long game. This is about me changing every day. Every day this is about remodifying my thoughts, renewing my mind on a daily basis. Read on.
Then cometh the wicked one.
It says, then cometh the what?
Wicked one.
So then there's somebody that's standing there as an opponent to try to pull me out of this race. And if I don't understand that the race is not to the swift, and if I don't get what I want right away, then cometh the wicked one. Read on.
So there's some type of object or entity.
There's an entity.
There's an entity that's against our spiritual progress.
Yes, absolutely. Well said. Read on.
And catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
And so the objective of Satan is to pull out that which was sown in your heart.
That's true.
His job is to pull you out of the race.
Yeah.
He don't want you to get salvation.
Fact.
He don't want you to get the kingdom.
Yeah.
So his objective is to pull that seed out to get you to where you quit and give up, and you don't prepare yourself for the long haul. He says, then cometh the wicked one to do what?
Then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
Go ahead.
This is he which received seed by the wayside.
And this one is the one that in the parable is the one that receives seed by the wayside. You're going to fall by the wayside because you allow Satan to pull you out of the race. Because you didn't understand that this wasn't about change in one day or 1 week or 1 month. This was about a lifestyle change. This is about a lifestyle commitment and a lifelong battle of staying focused. So let's
Can I
go.
pull one definition?
What you got?
It says catch.
Mm-hmm.
To seize the affections. To seize the infections. To engage and attach to. So the whole goal is to change a person's passions, which is affection, and to seize. I'm supposed to take hold of your passions.
Yep.
I don't want your passion to take you towards this spiritual goal.
The end game.
I don't want your passion to be in that direction. I'm supposed to shift little by little your passions towards some other direction.
Yep. And that's hard, and we don't see it. And that's the whole point about Satan's objective is to his whole objective is to catch you slipping, to catch you unaware, to where you don't see the trick coming. But read on in Ecclesiastes 9 and 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong,
Go ahead.
neither yet bread to the wise, nor get riches to men of understanding.
It says the bread is not to the wise, that the wise don't always eat. The wise ones don't always eat. Sometimes they're wise, but there's still struggle involved. So I gotta put the battle in perspective. Read on.
God. Nor get favor to men of skill.
And even though I may have skill, does that mean that things are always going to go my way?
No.
No. You can have all the skill in the world. That doesn't mean that things are going to go your way just because you have a skill. Doesn't mean because you're wise that you're guaranteed a meal. There are going to be some struggling. You may be wise, but that doesn't mean you're not prone to struggling. You may struggle. Read on. He said, but what?
But time and chance happeneth to them all.
But what's one thing that you'll find consistent among those individuals within those different circumstances?
Time and chance.
So opportunity is what presents itself to each one of those individuals. But like the topic of the class is labeled, is this opportunity knocking? Because a lot of times we don't know what this opportunity is. We may say, man, this is my chance to eat. This is my chance to grow, or this is my chance to get my new place. This is a chance to get married. This is a time to obtain something. How do you know when it's time? Time and chance does present itself to everybody, but how do you know it's right? Because that's something that men don't understand. That's something that all of us can get caught up on, is not knowing when and what this is. So let's go to the first scripture. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 and 8.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, page 675.
Read that.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Ask, and it shall be given.
So what happens when I feel like I've been asking and asking and asking, and I've been looking for something? Because a lot of us read the scripture when we want something. You know, we read the scripture when we want something. It says, ask and it shall be given you. Read on.
It says, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find.
It says, seek and ye shall find. Read on.
Knock, and it shall be opened.
It says, so the Most High says, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. What does that sound like the Most High is telling you to do? Pursue. But what we think, how we quantify this in our minds is, the Most High is telling me to pursue what I want. That's how we look at this verse. The Most High is telling me to go get what I want. It's something that I want. He's telling me through this verse. I might interpret this as, it's time for me to go get it. I got to try harder to get what I want. I got to put more effort behind the thing that I'm looking for to gain. So this might propel a person in a direction that they may feel like this is time for me to pursue my dreams or pursue my destiny.
It's time to commit.
It's time to commit, or it's time to pursue happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mission people are really on. Not necessarily pleasure, but the pursuit of what I think makes me my definition of happiness.
Yep.
Can I pull one point real quick?
Okay.
Where you going? Proverbs 1 and 17. I love where you're going with this class, because over the years we've watched a lot of men make grave mistakes in their spiritual development. With this, I'm glad you put this class out. This situation is the doing of a lot of good men. You know what I'm saying? Proverbs 1 and 17.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 17.
And I read the scripture for years, but I never understood it.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes more sense now. Read.
Surely in vain.
Surely in vain. Vain means for naught. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was pointless. There was no purpose. So surely there's no purpose, or for naught. What?
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
What is a net? A net is a device, a trapping device, a snare device, a device to capture whatever object is. If I want to catch this bird, I got to create a net, right? But the scripture says, surely in vain is the net spread in the what?
in the sight of any bird.
That means to catch a bird, the bird can't see the net. And you were dealing with the wicked one.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked one's building nets, but he don't want us to see the net.
Mm-mm.
So there's situations that happen that do take on the appearance of opportunity. Like the scripture says, Satan's transformed into an angel of light. There's situations that look like they're actually a good situation,
Yep.
but not for my spirit or my development. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. But how do I measure that though? How do I know? How do I know when it's something that I've been looking for? How do I know when it's something that I've been seeking for a while? How do I know this opportunity is from the Most High and not from the wicked one? Because that's what we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know when and what it is. But we're gonna get into that. Go to Matthew 7:70 one more time.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, page 675. It says, "Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you.
Go ahead.
For every one that asketh, receiveth."
He said, "For I just read the Bible that if I ask, I shall what?
I shall
Receive.
receive.
So it sounds like it's supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like there's nothing wrong with me looking for what I want and obtaining what I want. Because I'm reading it right here in the Bible. Read on.
And he that seeketh, findeth. And to him that knocketh, it shall be opened.
See, so the Most High is guaranteeing me what I want. So that's how I interpret it. But what is the thing that we want versus what is the thing that we should be seeking? Go to Jeremiah chapter 9 and let's read verse 23 and 24.
Jeremiah 9 and 23.
9 and 24.
23.
23.
Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 23, page 536 in the Black Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom.
So if I've been wanting wisdom, because we know the Most High said, if any of you lack wisdom, it says, let him ask. And the Most High upbraided not and give it to all men liberally. He said, but let him ask in faith, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing wavering. Right. So he said, but if any man looking for wisdom, he said what?
Let not the wise man glory in his wisdom.
So say if you have obtained wisdom, does the Most High want you to glory in that which you've obtained?
Nope.
Nope. Read on.
Neither let the mighty man glory in his might.
So now, if I've through my ingenuity have created a lot of situations that work in my favor, is it time for me to glory in the fact that I've been successful in my ingenuity, in my inventions? Read on.
Let not the rich man glory in his riches.
And if I work my butt off, and I finally got the money that I've been working to get and obtain, and I got myself in a comfortable financial position, is that where the Most High wants me to be at? No. Because a lot of us will pursue these particular things. I want to manifest my ideas, the things that I've always been wanting to do all my life.
Yeah.
I want to live out my dreams, manifest my dreams. I want to be stable, create a stable condition, and I want to have money enough to enjoy the stability in which I created.
And I want to be validated as a man so I can show who I am. A lot of us chase these symbols in these situations so that you can say, this is who I am. Versus, Most High makes
when you say who I am, this is who I am, meaning these accomplishments define me as a man or a woman.
This situation, these accomplishments, these trophies in life, now I'm somebody because I've attained these trophies. I was nobody before, according to myself.
Right.
But now that I'm in this situation and I have these circumstances, now the circumstance makes me who I am. That's why people lose things. People get so dejected because they're not only losing the object, they're losing their personal, their self-image. Their self-image was attached to that object or that achievement versus that Christ defining me. This object defines me. And that's a problem too. You always go into idolatry.
Yep.
And how idolatry is connected to that idea.
It's idolatry is connected to an imagination. And imagination is when somebody worships their creation. And an idea, they idolize their mentality of what they come up with. Just on that point.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, yeah, a lot of us will break our necks to get in these positions. But he said that's not where the glory should be at. Read on.
Kind of verse 24. But let him that glorieth glory in this.
So if I'm knocking for something and the door should be open, the door that I want to be open is this. If I'm seeking and the Most High said you shall find, what I'm looking for should be this. If I'm asking and the Most High said you shall receive, what I want should be this. Read on.
That he understandeth and knoweth me.
He said the thing that you need to glory in, that should be your pursuit. Not the pursuit of financial stability.
Your comfort.
Not the pursuit of comfort. Not the pursuit of manifesting your dreams and making your dreams come true.
Mm-hmm. Convenience.
And convenience. Not glorying in the fact that you plan these things 5 years in advance, and you've accomplished your 5-year goals and your 10-year goals, and you're on pace to retire yourself in 20 years very comfortably, or that you've mapped out your life and you've accomplished all the things and you've checked all the boxes and hit all the bucket lists. You knocked off all the checks on the bucket list.
All the buckets got bucketed out.
They got checked, bro. Everything got checked. I did it. I accomplished everything I set out for.
I feel good.
I feel great about myself. He said, but that ain't nothing to glory about. He said the thing that men should be, when he says seek and you shall find, knocking the door should be open, asking you shall receive. What you should be asking for, what you should be seeking for, what you should be knocking for is what?
That he understandeth and knoweth me.
That you have a relationship with who?
The Most High.
That you know his will.
Wow.
That's what you want to be thankful about.
Because doesn't Christ say,
if you're going to pat yourself on the back, man, I
did something.
I did something in my life.
Yeah.
I did that. Well, I did that. Watch me. Ooh.
Yeah. Watch me.
So if you want somebody to watch you, and you want to gratify yourself in some way, why don't you gratify yourself? Not that you had kids and you took care of your kids well, you raised your kids well, you did right by them, you paid your bills on time, you at least left a house behind for your family. None of that is to be gloried upon. The thing that you should glory in, that we should all be glorying in, is the fact that I met out a pursuit to get an understanding of the Most High's will, and I know His will.
Wow.
That should be what I glory in. Read that one more time.
That's the true glory.
That's the true glory. That's the real glory.
Wow.
Top of 24. But let him that glory.
Scripture is the true riches.
Those are
Who will he give the true riches?
Those are true riches.
Wow.
Yep. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 9 verse 24. But let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me.
Go ahead.
That I am the Lord.
He said that I am what?
I am the Lord.
That He is my power, and I have complete confidence in the Most High. That should be the thing that I glory in. Not in my ability, not in my smarts, not in my intellect, not in my money, not in my finances, not in my job. None of these things should be anything worthy of glorying in. Now, not that I've made right decisions and I've mapped out my life and made great plans. It's the fact that I know the Most High. Yeah. I have a relationship with Him. I know Him. I know what His will is. I know the way He thinks. Read on.
That I am the Lord which exerciseth loving kindness.
And I know what the Most High expects from me. Because the Most High, He exercises what?
Loving
kindness.
So I know how to exercise what?
Loving kindness.
I know how to exercise loving kindness. What else?
Judgment.
I understand what?
Judgment.
Judgment is what? How you deal with your people. How you treat people. I know how the Most High wants me to treat people. I know how the Most High wants me to talk to people. I know how the Most High wants me to deal with people. I know how the Most High wants me to look at people.
That's the true judgment.
That's real judgment.
Wow. That's powerful.
Because a lot of us don't, we can accumulate these things and not know how to deal right with our people.
We got storages.
You got a man right now, and I think he just hit the New York lottery. He just hit a lottery, he hit the Powerball or something, 1.5 billion.
Billion?
Yeah, and he's getting sued by his family members right now.
Oh my goodness.
Because He got 1.5 billion. He's getting sued by his family because he made them a promise that he would split some of the earnings. So obviously,
This is before he won.
this is before he
Of
won.
course.
Okay.
And also, he made a promise that he was going to put some money on his father's burial,
Wow.
and he don't even want to do that. Come
This is
on,
a dude.
bro. This guy's 1.5 billion, and you can't see your father all the way through, and make sure you put some money on his mortuary services. 1.5 billion, and now he's in court, getting sued by family members. You know, this what's going on now. So, is the money guarantee civility?
No.
Does the money guarantee righteousness?
Nope.
Does the money equate judgment?
No.
You know how to deal with your people. It means nothing. It means nothing if you don't know how to deal with your people. You could accumulate all the success in the world, but you could be a butthead.
Yep. And the ball.
And you could be in the ball. You could be an enemy to your people. You can get all the success in the world. That doesn't equate that you're going to do people right. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to do people right.
Or I can neglect my office with my nation. That's the dangerous element.
A lot of times, that's what we've seen many times over,
Yeah.
is when men do taste a little bit of success, they do reposition themselves and alleviate the so-called burden of work. And they say, well, you know, my money will replace me. I'll just pay y'all. I'll just make sure I look out for the camp. But I need to do other things. I have other things that I'm looking to
I have other
accomplish.
things that are
money
important.
will replace
My
it.
presence isn't necessary.
My presence is
I got
necessary,
you.
but I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna get 80,000.
Yeah. I'm going to give you 80K.
I'm gonna get 80,000 to the camp, but my presence is no longer there.
Yeah.
Which some people may equate that, you know, that should be a
All we
sufficient,
wanted was your money.
sufficient exchange. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just
That's all we
wanted.
wanted.
We didn't care about you as a brother or your spirit. You know, so but a lot of people misinterpret what the Most High's desire is for them. So a lot of us don't understand judgment, but we're going to glory that you understand how to deal with people. You understand how to treat people, regardless of your situation. Read on.
Middle of 24. That I am the Lord which exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things...
It says, for the Most High said, for in these things, what?
For in these things I delight.
So the Most High said, in these particular things, if you possess these attributes, the Most High said he delights.
In that man.
He delights in that man. He takes pleasure in that man.
The man that knows his will.
That knows his will.
That can do justice and judgment amongst his people.
That knows how to deal with his people with equity and righteousness. He said that's what the Most High actually cares about. So if you're going to be seeking something, if you're going to be knocking down doors for something, if you're going to be asking for something, how about asking for what the Most High takes pleasure in? But a lot of times, because we don't ask for that, is why we're in trouble. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 27, verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 27, verse 1, page 86.
Yep. Read that.
Many have sinned for a small matter.
Yeah, because if I don't know what the Most High's desire is, if I don't know what his pleasure is, I'm bound to what?
Sin.
I'm bound to sin. Even over something small.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss the mark.
Well, he said many have sinned for what?
Many have sinned for a small matter.
And what was the motivation behind it? Read on.
And he that seeketh for abundance.
Stop.
Wow.
What will make me sell out what the Most High considers valuable versus what I may want to pursue?
The seeking of what? Abundance.
And he that seeketh for abundance
Go ahead.
will turn his eyes away.
So I'll turn my eyes away from following the Most High. What will make a man contradict his service for the Lord or seeking the things that the Most High delights in?
He that seeketh for abundance.
I'm not content on where I am. And me not being content on where I am in life will also cause me to go off track and to veer away from what the Most High classifies as important. Judgment is no longer important because I'm looking for what?
Abundance.
Justice is no longer important because I'm looking for what?
Abundance.
Now, righteousness is no longer important Because I'm looking for what?
Abundance.
So what destroys or redirects our focus on what the Most High says he takes delight in?
He that seeketh for abundance.
It's the things that I what? It's the things that I want that I don't have. That desire to obtain the thing that I want that I don't have is the thing that could easily be used as one of those devices, like you just brought out about the nets of Satan, about the snares. These are the snares that Satan could use to pull you away from serving the Most High correctly. Because it's something that you lack, that you want, that you don't have. But it's not in accordance to the Most High's delight.
Can I pull this up real quick?
Come.
Point. Mark 4:19. Mark 4:19. This is Christ's words.
Mark chapter 4 and verse 19. And the cares of this world.
The cares of this world. Things I care about. A lot of things that we care about is for the purpose of finding some type of personal validation through this object, this vehicle, this situation, this trophy, this comfort. Read.
And deceitfulness of riches.
And the what?
Deceitfulness of riches.
The cares of this world, what I really care about versus the information of the Bible and the people of the scriptures, really is about the deceitfulness of riches. Charles was explaining how I'm in one state as a man, then I get said such and such situation, and then that valuable item that's rich, it could be anything, whatever it is, your pursuit is, and then all of a sudden a man's deceived by that certain value, that certain rich, the deceitfulness of riches. Read.
And the lust of other things entering in.
At first I was single-minded. At first it was about making the kingdom. At first it was about Christ's development. At first it was about biblical understanding. But then when I got set object, I got set validation, and I feel a certain way, and now this certain rich has deceived my conscience to where now other things are more important. Read.
Yep.
And the lust of other things entering in.
And the lust of other things enter in because I have options now. They say people only loyal as their options.
Mm-hmm.
This class
Explain that one more time.
it's said in the world and it's said in the scriptures that people are only as loyal to the Heavenly Father as their options. I'm only loyal to the scriptures because I have no other choice. My brothers are in jail, brothers in shape, ripped, read the Bible, disciplined, structured. When they're out the door, there's options. Bibles go on the ground. I've seen this literally. I got in jail downtown. I saw the Bible all marked out and marked like we have it. The grandma wrote all the scriptures and he read the whole book, or a lot of the book. But as soon as he got out the doors, the Bible went on the ground. He walked off and pursued his options. And we see many men who, my situation and condition is so hard and so uncomfortable, I gotta serve Christ to get out the situation. But once I'm out the situation, my loyalty changes. Because I'm only as loyal as the multiple I'm only as loyal really as my ability to feed myself. If I can feed myself with this Bible thing, I'm a Bible guy. But if there's another way to eat and get my benefits, it's like, I hate to say it, it's like a whore. This is real. I'm only going to give myself, and the scripture says that in Ezekiel 16. I love the Lord. I get my breast in fashion, my development. I got a crown on my head. I got jewelry. I have gold. I have riches. And then I become a whore because I exchange my spirit, which is my mental ability and my spiritual talents and my virtues. I exchange that for just other options, other benefits, other curiosities, other experiments to validate myself. That's how a person's only loyal as their options. I want more. I'm not content with the life and the scriptures and the wisdom the Most High has given me. I need more to make me feel something. I gotta feel a certain way.
Because knowing the Most High is not enough. It doesn't.
It's like a whore.
It doesn't affect me enough to where I feel like I've accomplished anything.
My man's not good enough. My school's not good enough. My car's not good enough. My life's not good enough. I'm not good enough.
Yep.
I have to decorate myself, accessorize myself. I need to put myself in different situations. And if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to be in a different room. All those kind of conversations.
Or if you got the most wisdom, you got to look like it.
I got at least.
You got to play the part.
Yeah, you got to look like you. If you got the wisdom, then it show you got the wisdom, huh?
Yeah.
Look like it.
Yeah.
I want acknowledgement from people, not Christ. The lust of the things entering in, because now my pleasure and my focus on the pleasure of Christ, like Psalms 40 and 8 says, it says, I delight to thy will. Now the will of the Most High is not my delight. I'm not delighted anymore.
It doesn't make me happy.
We see the faces change.
Yeah.
We see the faces change within weeks of people getting their so-called pleasure.
Well, it's not even necessarily in weeks. It's the long game. Remember, we're in the race for a long period of time. It's a marathon. It's over time.
Yeah.
This wears down the best of men.
The best of men.
We've seen strong men, not just men that are brand new. We've seen 10-year men, 15-year men,
Bible G's
20-year men wear thin. Because the ideas and the concepts that they were receiving wasn't enough for them. It wasn't fulfilling enough. And that was some of their terminology and the words they used. I am not fulfilled. This is when men say that. Men will actually say that with their own mouth.
I hope I did enough.
Yeah, to make it to the kingdom.
To make it to the kingdom.
Because I'm not fulfilled enough in what I'm doing. Knowing the Most High and doing right by your people is not enough for our people to feel any type of way that this is worth doing this for a long period of time. They don't feel like it's worth it.
But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead. I'll make sure I look out for the camp. And I'm going to drop 80K on y'all. I promise. Yeah. I promise. Yeah. Or I'm going to drop 15K. Or I'm going to drop a G. Whatever, bro. Your spirit left your post.
Yep.
How much is your post worth?
But what did I allow to come in? It's the lust of other things. It's my desire for abundance. I'm not happy where I'm at. This is not enough for me. We're back in Ecclesiastes, right? Chapter 27.
Maybe
verse 5.
Else make me feel better about myself.
Yep.
Page 86.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes chapter 27.
And you're in the red book. Read that.
Verse 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel.
And that's why the Most High says what?
The furnace proveth the potter's vessel.
What's the furnace?
Mercy.
Furnace represents what? The conditions.
The conditions around it.
That's what the furnace represents. The conditions that you're in does what?
Proveth the potter's vessel.
It proves whether the vessel was made correctly based on the level of heat that the vessel can manage without breaking. Which some people, they understand that this is when, for example, when you take glass and you temper glass. Mm-hmm. The only way to temper glass and to make glass stronger is that you have to increase the levels of heat. And you have to mix in certain chemicals that can bond the glass and make it stronger. There are certain acids that make the glass stronger. And the only way that this glass becomes stronger is that you have to heat the glass hotter and hotter. Mm. And as you heat this glass to higher temperatures, this glass starts to solidify itself to where it can endure even bullets. Where now this is bulletproof glass. How do you make bulletproof glass? You have to temper the glass at such a high heat that not even metal will penetrate it. Wow. Who knew that something like sand, because that's where glass comes from, sand, can stop metal? Something so brittle that falls between your fingers. Who knew that could stop metal? But it's how it's tempered. And that's no different than men. You know the quality of men based on the condition, and the condition will declare what these men or women can handle. And what their breaking point is. And that's usually what the Most High wants to know also. What's gonna cause you to say, okay, this is too much. I'm not happy doing this no more. You know what the Most High want to know? Hold this real quick. Go to Isaiah chapter 1 verse 11. We're just going to throw this in here. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 11. And then hold where you at. We'll come right back to it.
Come. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 11 reads. Ready?
Yeah, read that.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 11 reads, to what purpose,
Oh, whoa, slow it down. Who says what?
to what purpose,
Who's speaking? It's the Most High speaking. The Most High wants to know what?
to what purpose
To what purpose what?
is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me?
The Most High wants to know what?
To what purpose?
To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me?
What does that mean? Anybody? What does that mean?
It's crazy.
Why do you do this? Anybody else?
What are your intentions?
I like that. I like that even better. Yes, sir. What is your end game? What is your end result? What's your end motivation? Anybody else?
Why do I do what I do? How genuine?
What? How genuine? All these are right.
What do you really want? All this second.
What? Yeah. What is your expectation out of serving me? Why are you doing all these sacrifices?
What's all this love
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. I love
You love bombing the Most High.
a lot of
Yeah.
love. Anybody else?
What do you want?
What do you want? Yep.
What's your intentions behind the sacrifices that you give to them?
Similar to what Amiata just said. What are your intentions behind what you're doing?
Oh,
Yeah.
why do I do what I do every day? What's the motive behind what I do every day?
Why do you get up in the morning and serve the Lord?
Yep.
What's your driving force?
Do you understand what you're sacrificing?
Yeah, the Most High is asking this question. But do you ask yourself this question? That the Most High wants to know the answer to this? Or like Dawiyat brought out, you're only doing what you're doing because you're in a pickle.
Yeah, you have to.
Because you have to do it. You're only doing what you're doing because everything else is uncomfortable, or you're unsure of the other options and not ready to make a decision yet, and you kind of waiting and treading water to try to see if this is really going to pan out or not.
You know, Sergeant Juan, everything else I've done has failed. So I guess I'll do this true Bible thing.
Yeah.
Everything else didn't work. But if it did, though, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Now, would you say, let's say the motivation is, I'm here for stability. I'm here because everything else failed. Is that a bad mentality to have when you're initially coming in?
No, but it must transition.
Okay.
Because the scripture does say the whole need not a what? But who?
But the sick.
Who needs a physician?
The sick.
So is it wrong to be here because you're sick?
No.
No. But it has to transition more than just you're here to get the medicine. Christ said, henceforth I call you no longer servants.
Mm-hmm.
He says, because the servant knoweth not
what
His
his master's will.
Yep.
He said, but henceforth I call you what? Friends. So the relationship with the Most High must evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You must come in as a patient,
Facts.
but you must leave as an advocate.
Yeah.
You must leave as staff, as a medical professional
Mm-hmm.
to help other people. He said, freely as you receive, freely what?
Yeah.
So yeah, you may come in as a taker, but you got to leave as a giver. So it must evolve. It just can't stay in the fact that I'm reaping the benefits of the Bible, and I'm only here to reap the benefits of the Bible. Yes, it's okay to be a taker, but then you have to evolve to be a giver. The Most High say, love a cheerful what?
Giver.
Giver. You don't love a cheerful taker?
But men are cheerful to take.
Yes, we're happy to take, but are we happy to give? But all these things is answered. You start dissecting the causes of men's and their intention when you ask yourself the same question the Most High is asking. Read that one more time.
Come. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 11 reads, to what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith the Lord, I am full of the burnt offerings.
Does the Most High want more burnt offerings?
No.
How many more animals? And in this case, men would give the Most High an action, but they wouldn't give the Most High their mind. They'll give they give the Most High a performance.
Yep.
But they wouldn't give the Most High their thoughts. They would give the Most High what they thought He wanted to see, which is, I'm just gonna imitate what I think you like.
Yeah. Not because I want to give it to you.
Not because I
but
want to give it
this is
to
what you're looking. What answer do you want me to tell you?
Right.
I hate those kind of counsels out. When you're talking about, you're like, this was this was got to do with spirit. Well, what do you want me to tell you, huh?
It's
I'm gonna tell you what you want me to tell. like
It's no different than a salesman trying to sell a product.
Huh.
And they're asking you fake questions like they really want to get to know you, but they really just want to make the sale, and you can see right through it.
That's crazy.
It's like, okay, your approach to me is really not about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you see me as a dollar sign. You see me as a number. You really don't care about me and my situation. How do I know? Because you're not even reciprocating what I'm saying. You're not even listening to what I'm saying. You're not even listening to my answers.
Where you from?
I answer a question, and you rush me to another question.
What is going on? Are you actually listening?
It's almost like you're just rolling off a script, and you're just checking off a script, and you're asking me all the bullet points on the script.
Where do you work at? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is where I work at. Oh, okay. Are you married? Like, damn, you went from where I work at. Am I married? Like, damn, you're just going through a succession of questions. It's scripted. You really don't give a damn about me. You just want to know what I'm doing and what can I afford and where's my money at. You don't care about me. You don't care about what I'm in. But a good salesman will actually listen to you. A good salesman will actually understand where you're coming from and what you need, not just what they're trying to give you and offer you. The most I can see a salesman coming too.
Spiritual salesman.
A spiritual salesman. The most I could see somebody that's not genuine coming too. He could see somebody's intentions a mile away. Why are you here? Because the most I said, if you're just here giving me what you think I want, he said, that's not what I want. I'm tired of people giving me what they think I want. We don't know what the Most High delights in. We just read earlier in Jeremiah what the Most High finds pleasure in, what he delights in. But we give the Most High what we think he wants and expect something in return. Finish that?
Saying? Deuteronomy 8:2 real fast. What's something I want to say?
That's a good one.
Because that way it shows this ain't just Shamshuan is saying some. The Bible's, he's just explaining the Bible. This is a biblical understanding. Deuteronomy 8:2.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2.
This isn't the first 5 books of the Bible. This is the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the beginning of the Bible. We're on book 5. 8:2. Get it?
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2.
This is not some advanced concept of the Bible.
Not at all.
It's the 5th book of the Bible. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy power led thee these 40 years in the wilderness.
I'm supposed to remember all that the Most High did for me. You get that already. Read.
To humble thee
Read on.
and to prove thee.
Prove means the test. Read.
To know what? To know what was in thy heart.
The test was to show and create situation scenarios so that what do you want me to show you? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do to look like I'm with you?
Yep.
I really want to see what was in your heart, what your true intention is.
Yep.
What are you really here for?
Why do you do what you do? Your reasoning, your why.
Huh. To know what was really in
your
your
motivation.
Heart. In your heart. That's the point I want to hit up.
That's perfect.
You go in your direction.
That's perfect. Because it goes right where we at in Ecclesiastes 27. Read verse 5 again.
Ecclesiastes 27, verse 5, page 86 in the red book.
And what you just brought out in the Deuteronomy 8 was the wilderness. The Most High explained the whole purpose of the 40 years in the wilderness.
What was a 40? Most High dealt with everybody in the nation for 40 years just to see that question get answered.
Just to answer that question, to come to a conclusion of that question.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's a long game, man. 40 years. 40 years is a long time.
That's a long question.
So that's a long, drawn out situation to determine the answer to that question. The Most High wait 40 years to get to the answer. Some of us are not even 40 years old in here. Some of us in here are not even half that age. But the Most High will draw you out for a long time to understand your intentions. He said what?
Ecclesiastes 27:5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel.
And that's why he says the conditions will determine these things.
Huh?
That's how. So the Most High allows certain conditions to get certain answers.
Wow.
Read.
So the trial of man is in his reasoning.
It says so. Also, he's telling you the furnace in a pot. A pot is a metaphor for what the Most High will put you through, so that He can divulge or receive an answer from you. to get you to divulge an answer. So if you're not clear about why you serve the Most High, the conditions will help you be clear. It'll confirm it.
It's gonna make you be real.
It'll make you be real.
We've always said it for years. Like you can only fake it.
You can only fake it for so long. You can only fake being in the truth for so long because the conditions, the workload, the giving, it's a lot of giving, and the giving is not a burden. It's not a burden, but if you're not looking at it in the right way, it'll become a burden. If you don't have the right intentions, it'll become a burden. It'll start weighing on you.
Yeah.
If your intentions aren't pure, if you're just here to get, then the Most High will make you become a giver, and you won't get anything for a long period of time until you say, well, you know what? Everything else is just not important anymore.
This ain't worth it. Or this ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. Mm-hmm. Read.
So the trial of man is in his reason.
Now give me the definition of rationality. Get the definition of rationality. He said the trial of man is where?
In his reason.
Get the definition of rationality.
Rationality.
Now my man's always ready to go.
Rationality.
I might as well say Kariah. Get the definition of.
He's fast in the computer, right?
Yeah. He already had it. I don't even know how he had it already. He already had it in his notes.
Yeah, watch the class out.
You got a time machine somewhere, bro. Read.
Rationality. The power of reasoning.
They said the power of what?
The power of reasoning.
Or what else?
Reasonableness.
Go ahead.
God. It says, well-directed intention.
Stop.
Wow.
He says well-directed what?
Intention.
So what does the Most High do to find out your what?
Intention.
Your intentions.
And to see the direction of your intentions.
If it's
What?
well-directed. If your intentions are well-directed.
Where's your intention leading you to? This little step-by-step breadcrumb you're going? This little path, this little yellow brick road you're on? Is it the yellow brick road to this object? Or is the yellow brick road to me?
Yep. He says it's well-directed intentions.
Wow.
So that's
crazy, bro.
what the Most High wants to know. What are you doing and why are you doing it? And what is the intent behind you serving the Lord?
Why do you care? I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. What do you want? What do you want from me?
Yeah. I showed up, didn't I?
I'm here.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
Yeah. But the Most High want to know that too. What do you want? He said, what is rationality?
Rationality.
Well-directed intention.
Go ahead.
God. Whose rationality would not bear a rigid examination.
He says a rigid, not rigid, a rigid examination. Meaning, if your intentions are pure, the Most High doesn't have to put you under a deeper microscope.
That's crazy.
Y'all understand what he's saying?
Oh, man.
He's saying that if your intentions are pure and your intentions are right, he doesn't have to put you on. You know, you got a 10x microscope, then you got a 50x, then you got a 100x.
Yeah.
When every time it's multiplied, it magnifies even bigger the
50x.
object that you're looking at. Well, the Most High says that if your intentions aren't pure, then it forces him to have to expand the lens and expand the magnifying glass to see what's going on inside of you.
What's the object made of?
What is it made out of? What's going on? What's really going on? What's happening? The Most High, it forces the Most High to have to put a bigger lens on and trade out the lens, and that 10x ain't vivid enough. It's not clear enough.
So not only are his eyes 10,000 times brighter than the sun, but he can zoom in
Yes,
to a man.
he's trying to zoom in when the intentions aren't clear. It forces the Most High to have to do a more rigid examination. It puts him in that position where he has to, okay, I see. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get to the core of your servitude. Let's get to the core of your allegiance. Let's get down to a molecular level where the Most High can see electrons and protons and neutrons circulating around an atom. What are you doing? Why do you serve me? Why do you profess my name? Why do you read the Bible? Do you really believe in me? The Most High gets on that anatomic level.
Yeah.
He has to take a deeper, more rigid examination of you when your intentions seem shady. So now the Most High, you force the Most High to have to put you in a hotter furnace
Wow. That's real.
to draw out more truth. We got that definition?
Right.
You got something?
Yeah, I wanted just to add on to that. Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 19 through 21. Because what you're explaining is the same process that the Most High uses to discern do you deserve wisdom or not. Because wisdom is the influence or the spiritual influence that will indicate if the Most High is investing into you or he's going to start cursing you. Read on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 19. Come under her as one that plowed and sowed.
Meaning that seeking process, that knocking process. Using another analogy, the plowing and the sowing, the investment that you're putting into getting this wisdom or the acknowledgement of the Most High is a requirement. Read on.
And wait for her good fruits.
And it's also waiting for the results. A lot of people want to rush the process to get to the end result. You read in James 1:7, he says, think not that the Most High will give you anything. Because what he's trying to decide is,
If you're double-minded specifically.
if you're double-minded, exactly, because the double-mindedness will be exposed if you don't get what you want when you want. It's not just wisdom, it's material things, it's stability, whatever it is. Whenever you don't get it, whenever you try to rush the process of getting it, that's when the impatience comes in, the intemperance comes in, the intolerance of suffering comes in, the frustration comes in, because you weren't doing it with sincerity of heart. You weren't coming to class with sincerity of heart. You weren't studying with sincerity of heart. You weren't counseling with sincerity of heart. And now it's got exposed because you've lost patience. So part of the requirement is you have to wait for the good fruits. Read on.
For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her.
And he's also saying there's hope, meaning you won't have to do it long if you do it sincere. The process in which you want, or getting what you want, if it's in alignment with the Most High, is not a long process depending on your level of sincerity and your understanding of what the Most High wants out of you. Still based off what you're asking for. Read on.
But thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
Mm-hmm.
He said you'll reap the benefits if the intention is pure.
Exactly. Con. If the intention is pure, and going to what you were saying when you started the class off in Isaiah, meaning what were you asking for? What were you trying to get out of there in the first place? Were you doing all this? Were you going through all the suffering, all the sacrifice, all the commitment, all the investment for the clarity and the understanding of what the Most High wants from you? Were you doing it to find out what's pleasing to God? Or are you doing it so you can get what's pleasing to you out of it? Because I ain't gonna kill it. Keep reading. Verse 20.
God.
Because the conflicting spirit or the opposite man, the Most High starts circling in and eyeing this person even harder. We're gonna find out why. Read on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 20. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned.
Wisdom is very unpleasant to the unlearned. Read.
He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
That understanding is also a direct correlation to rationality. The understanding is your level of discernment, your intentions. The understanding of the spirit in which you're seeking after, understanding the spirit in which you're serving, will allow your intentions to shift towards righteousness, will allow you to understand the path in which the Most High is taking you.
If you understand why you do what you do.
Exactly. If you know why you do what you do and what the Most High intends you to do, because even when we read in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, he paints the picture perfectly, explains what your purpose is. Your purpose is to serve God. Your purpose is to follow His commandments. So what is my job? To find out what exactly is He asking me to do. Versus, I'm doing this because if I was told if I do X, Y, and Z, I get X, Y, and Z. I was told if I serve this way, the Most High will get me the back. How about you're playing a role and you're playing a part for the ultimate big picture, which is the edification of the body. But a lot of times we don't think that way. So because we don't think that way, wisdom is very unpleasant to the unlearned, very unpleasant to the unrational. Read on.
She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
Mm-hmm.
She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial.
Now that tests or those continuous tests get even harder to bear. Those burdens that you read in Galatians 6, they become heavier. They become more challenging. Now you feel more weighed down than the other person that's directly across from you on the same spiritual path as you,
Doing the same
same thing you're doing, with the same level of opportunities,
the same hours,
the same hour, the same time, that person sees more peace than what you're going through.
Because I'm close to the object of affection.
Exactly.
The burdens, quote unquote, are just situations that show me how far I am from the object of affection.
Wow.
I have a plan for the night set up, and all of a sudden, brother wants to counsel.
Yeah.
That's the Most High showing you the object of your affection will take secondary presence or precedent to the need of the camp.
You know,
then comes the struggle.
It's like, how long can I keep pushing my will back for these people that are going to need tomorrow? They're going to need today, they need tomorrow. They need the next day.
you know,
Can I take care of me? Can I do me right now?
I was talking to Jariah today, and I brought up a situation where me and Nathaniel used to joke about 5 o'clock. Because if you're on the trucks, like 2 years ago, 5 o'clock, if you were still working at 5 o'clock, your day's done. Because that means stop looking at your watch. You're not going home till 10 o'clock, 10, 11. At Costco, you might go home at 1 o'clock in the morning. So by 4:30 to 5 o'clock, and you still got 10 stops left, you had to make a real decision. This is no longer about your plans you set up. It's no longer about, being home with the family, eating lunch, kicking your feet up, taking an F-salt bath. It's, we're going to be here all night long. We got to be here. And that's what it was going to be. But when the challenge got hard, the days got really difficult? When you had plans. When you really wanted to do something. When you really had other obligations that you could be doing right now. Now the thoughts are right on. Now it gets real silent in the truck.
And this is why I tell men, don't say it again, y'all.
This is the point.
Don't make plans.
When you're in the truth,
Oh, my goodness.
be flexible. Don't make plans.
Be flexible.
Because plans will get distorted, disrupted, and they will get mishandled, misaligned, and you're not going to execute all the things that you so-called wanted to do.
Just because you planned it.
But just because you planned it. Yeah. And if you're a rib or sister, same thing. You can make all the plans you want with your husband, but he's at the mercy of the body.
Or other sisters. You can make all plans with other sisters, but they're at the mercy of their husbands. You got to be flexible.
Yeah.
You got to be able to adjust and be okay with being uncomfortable. Be okay with not having a solid plan. Even for when I was younger, I was always told my brothers, make plans, go on dates, invest more into your rib, right? Or every time I would try to, there was more commitments I had to go with the body. There was always something I had to go do. And it made that situation at that time very hard to do. And I had to realize, and I also teach my rib, hey, this is what this is about. This is a microcosm of what we're really doing, which is I have to be on call, just like you're going to have to be on call, for whatever the camp and the body needs. But what makes that trial harder, when we start interjecting our own will into the Most High's will. Now we have that double-minded spirit. Now we have conflicting interests. And now that stone gets harder to bear.
And now the furnace must get hotter.
It gets real hot, which means more circumstances of the same kind. This is when you start seeing repeat offenders.
Yep.
You'll get phone calls one week, and I had plans this week, but it didn't work out. I'm fighting. It's all good. I know I'm doing for Christ. And 2 days later, same situation. I really want to do something today, but you know what? I'm going to be here with the brothers as well.
Or you get stone-faced men, huh? You get guys that have stone faces all day.
Yeah.
They have that monolith face. Huh?
It gets like that day 3, because day 1 and 2, they was fighting. Yeah. Day 3 and 4, this is 4 times in a row I had to cancel plans. Now I'm getting very vexed. I got to work on my vehicle. I don't have no time to work on my vehicle right now.
I got to pay the stores.
I got to pay these bills. I got to sit here and run around.
What about what I got to do?
And that's the point.
I got to go grocery shop.
Yeah. Grocery shop.
What about when you're cleaning other brothers' toilets?
That's the problem.
But your toilet ain't clean.
Con.
I could be using this energy.
Yeah, I could be
here.
I could be cleaning my own house.
Yeah.
Well, I got a house to clean. Who gonna help me clean my house? Yeah. What happens? You got to go clean somebody else's house for demonstration's sake.
Yeah.
Just so you can show them what clean looks like.
Yeah.
And so you have to demonstrate what organization looks like.
Oh my gosh.
What uniformity looks like.
Right.
It's going to be a disservice to you if you don't have the right mentality. It'll become a burden if you don't look at it right. So, but men do what? Go to Proverbs 21:2. Where you at, Johanna? You was in Ecclesiastes, right?
Ecclesiastes 6.
Yeah,
Verse 21.
get Ecclesiastes 21 and 2. I mean Proverbs. Proverbs 21 and 2. Read that. And this begins the conflict.
Proverbs 21, 2, page
It's the same thing. It's
473.
saying the same thing. Read on.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 2, page 473 in Black Bible. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes.
Now, when it comes to intentions, when it comes to rationality, when it comes to a man and what he comes up with, in his mind, he's justified in the way he thinks.
You're misunderstanding me.
Yeah. You're not understanding
you're not
what I'm going
understanding
through.
me.
You don't understand my situation.
You're not considering me.
You're not considering me.
Wow, when nobody in the Bible school is considering you,
Well,
and everybody's just trying to ruin your. We went.
we
the
just
night
want to
before-
inconvenience your life.
Yeah, the night before we got together on the phone. We said, "How can we get this brother to make him uncomfortable?"
Yeah.
Listen, at 4:37, I need you to have a brother have a problem. His car breakdown.
No, or as soon as that brother tell you that he's done with his job, I want you to call him and go help clean this other brother's house.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
I want you to have,
Good one, man.
I want you to have
That's what it's about.
as soon as you get the call that he's done working, tell him he got another job he ain't finished yet.
Listen, I'll make sure I call him at 4:09.
Yeah, because that's gonna get him. That's gonna really get under his skin.
According to our calculations,
Yeah.
it should be right on that time.
Yeah.
Right before traffic.
Yes, sir.
An example is the one you gave about the teaching somebody to clean. You go and you teach, and they just go get it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best
And they
one.
don't get it. You gotta go back again.
You got to go back again.
Yeah. House still dirty.
I thought I just showed you how to clean
Yeah.
this. You got to get behind the toilet. You got to get behind, and that ain't even. That's not your toilet.
Right.
But you got to go. But you got to show and demonstrate. This is how you don't just get the little spongy thing and the little brush and just clean the inside of the bowl. You got to get up behind and back underneath the bowl. You got to show them how to. This is clean. This is how you wash dishes. This is how you sweep and mop a kitchen. This is how you maintain a household.
I got to.
The trash can. The trash can itself is so nasty that the trash going in it is cleaner than the trash can.
It's crazy.
You gotta take it. You gotta go. Okay, brother. Let me show you how to clean the trash.
Yeah, black mold in the trash can.
Sterilize the trash can, brother. Because this is worse than the trash you putting in it.
Especially when we quit the truth.
Yeah.
Because I'm out.
But you know what? All these things must be taught.
Facts.
You know, because when a man needs rehabilitation, he's coming from a broken state in all levels.
Mhm.
That means he doesn't know how to brush his teeth. That means he doesn't know how to bathe. That means he doesn't know how to iron clothes. That means who's going to teach him?
Somebody has some love.
Better have some patience and love.
Somebody's servant.
Who going to teach him that you can't wear mismatched socks? It's not a good look for you. But some people just say, I'm just going to find what I got. That's all I got clean. So then who's going to show them how to wash clothes? And you can't put bleach in colors. Who's going to show them how to do all these things?
Just Google it, huh?
Yeah, but in Christ, guess what? You will find yourself doing all these things.
Yes.
You'll find yourself showing sisters how to keep themselves, what hygiene means to a sister. Hygiene is critical to a woman. Sisters don't know hygiene. You gotta teach on all levels. But when you teaching somebody on all levels, there lies the inconvenience in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But now the Most High is doing it because that's how the Most High determines intentions.
I'm just a janitor for Christ. Huh?
Yeah, you're a custodian. You're a Christian custodian.
Yeah.
A Christ-like, a maintenance supervisor. I'll give you that. You're the supervisor of the maintenance department.
Oh, the Lord. Huh?
Yeah, but now you got to fix spirits.
Yeah.
And with broken minds come broken ways. Yep. So now you got to instruct, and it can't be a burden, and you can't do it, and it can't grieve you to be of assistance to your people. Can't grieve you to slow your life down and put your life on hold. Can't grieve you. What about when men come in ain't never drove a car? They've been on a bus all their life. You got to teach men how to drive. Guess what happens when you yell at them when you're trying to show them how to drive? They freak out and they don't want to drive no more.
Yep.
And then they panic and then they crash. Because that experience that you gave them, because it was you were so inconvenienced, you were so angry that you had to show a grown man how to drive that you put fear in him on the road. Now he spazzes out on the highway. Because he can hear your words behind his head. Don't do this. Don't do it. Now he's all nervous. He can't. Now the whole experience is shot. It's more of a terror than it is a joy.
Yeah.
Now it's a terror because you had no patience. You didn't have the patience that it takes to deal with. Children will play on your patience the most.
Yeah.
Because they really don't have any understanding. You really got to do the most for them. But children will expose you.
Yeah.
That you're not the best parent that you think you are. Children will expose that. All these conditions, the Most High will set up to put you on blast, to put you under the microscope, to see why you do what you do.
Wow.
And then all these elements will test you. All of them will try you. Yes, sir.
One by one.
What you got?
You said greed. Ecclesiastes 4 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 8. I wanted 7. It says, "Let it not grieve thee to bow down thine ear to the poor."
Yeah, because even to give assistance, to give and compensate for the people that have need, some of us, it bothers us to be inconvenienced. And so the Most High will put that to the test. All these things will be analyzed in the Most High, under the Most High's microscope. All of it will be looked at to find out if this is judicious, if this is built upon justice and equity and judgment, or you're just doing this because you're fulfilling a temporary need until you get on your feet and go about your business and do your thing in life.
I just was down. I was just down in my life, and it was just a phase. The truth thing was just a phase.
Yeah, but the sad part about it is, go ahead, finish that, y'all out.
"Let it not grieve thee to bow down thine ear to the poor."
Go ahead.
"And give him a friendly answer."
Yeah, say give him a what?
"And give him a friendly answer."
What happens when you're inconvenienced to people? Do you give them friendly answers, or do you talk to them with disgust because they bother you? Short, disgust. You say words like, "Damn, bro. Damn,
Again?
you still you just be begging.
Yeah.
Damn, brother, you can't get this right. It didn't take me 5 years to get this.
Come on, huh?
Brother, why is it taking so long? It take 5 years to get this right? Why are you measuring the time? Because you're tired of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, get to the point, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said do it with what?
It says,
Give him a what?
It says, "And give him a friendly answer with meekness."
With meekness. So you got to endure it. But that's not what we want to hear in the event that when it's time to give assistance to people. So the Most High puts the poor or the needy, I'll just use the word needy, people that have needs, he'll put them around you to offset your pure intentions and your real intentions, to qualify your intentions.
I didn't come here for this.
Yeah, well, the Most High will qualify that.
Yep.
Why did you come here? Well, let's put you around a bunch of people that can't do right. Like what Warren say, Mr. Can't Do Right.
Yeah.
Let's put you around a bunch of can't do rights, and let's find out, are you really as patient as you say you are?
Yeah.
Are you as meek as you say you are? Are you as loving as you say you are?
You know I'm loving.
Oh man,
I'm
please.
loving. I just
You know
love.
what the Most High find out? That you have a threshold,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that when you get to that threshold, you gotta go beyond and above that threshold. But every man's excuse, everybody has a built-in excuse, but they feel like that excuse is justified.
Yes.
Pick that up back in Proverbs 21:2.
God, Proverbs chapter 21, verse 2. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes.
I have my reasons why I can't be of assistance. I have my reasons why I can't help. I got my reasons that I feel are actual, legitimate reasons why I can't be available and why I can't be of assistance.
I'm not breaking the law.
It's not a law, but I got my justifications.
Yeah.
That's what we think. He said every man got what?
Is right in his own eyes.
Yes, everybody has an opinion about their level, what they can and cannot do, and how far they can and cannot go. Everybody has their threshold that they put in their mind. But what the Most High says, read on.
But the Lord pondereth the hearts.
He said, but the Most High knows what?
Pondereth the heart.
He's judging the what?
The mind.
The mind. He's weighing the mind. Can you go further? Can you do more? Is this the real reason why you're here? Oh, because things are working for you. What happens when things don't work in your favor? You still gonna do it with the same joy, with the same fervency? Are you gonna do it with the same enthusiasm? Read on.
Then I'm a situational Jew.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a
circumstantial.
So I'm a circumstantial.
I'm a circumstantial Jew.
Yeah.
When circumstances are right, I do.
Yeah.
When they're not, I don't. Right, exactly. The Most High wants to know. Read on.
Verse 3. To do justice.
It said, but more important than your opinion, more important than your desire, more important than your wants, your dreams, your expectations, what you want to fulfill, what you want to obtain, what you feel like is a blessing to you or not, or a curse to you, more important than your feelings, because that's what an opinion is, just a feeling. More important than your feelings, read on.
To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
It says, so what trumps your feelings?
Wow. To do justice
To do
and
justice
judgment.
and judgment.
What trumps your goals that you had in life?
Justice and judgment.
So if I just came here to learn scriptures,
I got
what prevails more than your desire to just obtain scriptures?
justice and judgment.
So if I came here to just get married, to find a stable wife or a stable husband, what trumps and goes beyond your love connections?
Justice and judgment.
If you came here for a job or to get paid, what prevails your pursuit for money?
Justice and judgment.
Or you came to somewhat look religious. What prevails that?
Justice and judgment.
So what excels all opinions and intentions?
Justice and judgment.
So justice and judgment trumps all intentions. None of your intentions should ever excel or exceed the Most High's judgment and the Most High's justice. Now go back to Jeremiah 9 and 24 one more time and read that one more time in Jeremiah chapter 9 verse 24.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Okay.
Jeremiah 9, verse 24.
Yep.
But let him that glorieth glory in this,
That what?
that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Most High, which exercise loving kindness.
He said, I exercise what?
Loving kindness,
What else?
judgment,
Judgment? What else?
and righteousness
What else?
in the earth.
Go ahead.
For in these things
He says,
delight.
for in what?
In these things I delight, saith the Most High.
So what should excel and exceed my desires and my wants? The things that the Most High delights in. See, we don't ask for these things. When he says seek and ye shall find, when he says knock and the door shall be open, when he says ask and you shall receive, we don't ask for these things. We ask for personal things that seem fair to us. And this is why life gets so difficult. And what happens after that? If I don't redirect, rearrange, and reconsider what's important to the Most High, and I got the things that's right in my eyes, what happens to a man's mind? Go to Proverbs chapter 28. Give me Proverbs 28 and read verse 4. When I say, okay, I'm not really in agreement with the way the Most High does things, because it's too much of a burden or an inconvenience to me, what do I do after that?
Proverbs 28, verse 4.
Read that.
They that forsake the law.
It says, so if I forsake the law, which is about loving my neighbor more than myself, because that's what justice does. It affects my neighbor. That's what righteousness does. It affects my neighbor. That's what judgment does. It affects my neighbor. When I don't care about what the Most High cares about, which is to perform sacrifices to aid my people. Read on.
They that forsake the law praise the wicked.
I do what?
Praise the wicked.
Where do I start looking at when what the Most High wants from me is not what I want?
My role models change.
My role models change.
Start looking up to people that are contrary to the scriptures. Because look what he got. Look at his time. Look at his liberty. Look at his situation. Look at his advantage.
Exactly. I started looking outside of the Most High.
What else is out there?
What else is out there? What else could I be doing? When I'm not fulfilled in doing what the Most High considers, his delight, then I start doing what?
Praising the wicked.
Then I start saying maybe they own to something. Maybe that man's living his life,
Maybe
man.
he was a smart one.
He was
Maybe I
the
was
small
the
one,
devil.
man. I made a mistake by serving the Lord. Look at the freedom that man has. Look at how happy she looks on Instagram.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah. Praising the wicked.
Look how happy she is. I bet you if I put on booty shorts too,
I
would be happy like she's happy.
I would like to do that. That's oversimplistic reasoning.
I would like to have those.
Foolish logic. Right? If I get this BBL, it's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all right. It'll be all right. I'll be happy like they look happy. I'll start if what I do for the Lord is not good enough for me, then I start to look outside the Lord and I start praising who?
The wicked.
The wicked, man. You see how the mind shuts off?
Yep.
And the Most High, the Most High starts to see, oh, okay, you're going off track. Now your intentions are pure because you're looking at what everybody else has that don't serve the Lord. You're comparing yourself to those that don't serve the Lord, but you're looking at what they have over what you have. Because what you do for me is not enough. You're not fulfilled in what you do for me. So you start looking outside of what you do for the Lord and start examining and measuring yourself up to what Jake people do. Yeah. Now you compare yourself to Jake. I bet you if I go get this job, because they're making $28 an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not even making half that with the Lord, serving the Lord. I could be making 28. They making 28 over there. Them drivers are getting 2 days. They getting 2 days off a week.
Yeah.
They getting overtime. They get bonuses.
You know you're wrong when it bothers you.
Yeah.
When you take into account, that's how you know you're off. You want to know if you're off? Ask yourself how much does it bother you. Yeah. That's how you know you're off. When it don't bother you, you're on point.
3 a.m. thoughts. 4 a.m. thoughts. 4:30 a.m.
You got drinks on.
I could be doing so much more with myself. Yeah. And I could be way further than what I am.
More life.
And more life. And I could be, but I start looking at the advantages that other people have that don't serve the Most High.
Yeah.
Say it again. They're about self. Why can't I be about self? Because I'm not fulfilled in serving the Lord.
I've done enough service, man.
Yeah.
I think I've done enough. I've done this Bible thing more than most people off my family.
Say that part again. Say I've done enough. What?
I've done enough. I've served enough. I've taken care of people. I've done this Bible thing long enough. I've done a lot of Bible stuff. I got a fat notebook. I know a lot of scripture. Now I don't know why I wasn't tripping. This is overboard. I've done a lot of. I can help people. I'm out there too. Yep. There's fish out there that need me out there.
I'll bring them back.
That's a real conversation.
But you know, this starts to this plays out in actions. What begins in thoughts. When you start praising the wicked, what begins in thought manifests itself, and we're going to show that. Go to Joshua chapter 6 and read start at verse 18. We're just going to get to the point. We're not going to read this whole thing. We're just going to use this how this begins in the mind, but it plays out in the actions. Let's go to Joshua chapter 6, verse 18.
Joshua chapter 6, verse 18. And we think 1:7.
I really don't like my situation anyway, bro. This is
1:7.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua chapter 6, verse 18.
It's not enough.
Read that.
And ye, Joshua 6 and 18. And ye, in any wise, keep yourselves from the accursed thing.
So he says for you now, just to bring it up in context, this is the battle of Jericho, and this is when Joshua took over Moses' position, and this is the first major battle that Israel is having to face and go up against the Canaanites, and this started the siege. This was the beginning of a siege to take the land of Canaan. So the Most High is giving Joshua and the children of Israel instructions, and he's already telling them, I'm going to give you the victory. But there's some instructions that I want you to follow. You're going to get the victory. But before I give you the victory, pay close attention to these instructions. What are the instructions the Most High has given the children of Israel? Read that again.
Verse 18. And ye, in any wise, keep yourselves from the accursed thing.
He says, the accursed thing is things that the Most High said are dedicated to me. He said, there's certain things that are in Jericho that I want that belong to me. That's not for y'all. These are things dedicated. That's what accursed is in the translation. Things dedicated to the Most High. So, read on.
Lest ye make yourselves accursed.
So this is the spoils, so to speak, of war. Like pirates say in medieval times, the booty, the spoils of war. Read.
Lest ye make yourselves accursed.
He said, now if you take the things that are spoils that are classified belonging to me, he said, then you're going to make yourself accursed. Read on.
When ye take of the accursed thing.
Go ahead.
And make the camp of Israel accursed.
He said, but what you do is going to affect the body as a whole. Read on.
And trouble it.
And you're going to trouble the body as a whole. Read on.
But all the silver and gold.
He said, but all the silver, go ahead.
And vessels of brass and iron.
Go ahead.
Are consecrated.
He said they're what?
Are consecrated.
That means they're dedicated. The Most High said, I want the silver. I want the gold. All the vessels is consecrated. What else?
Unto the Lord.
He said, who does it belong to?
Are consecrated unto the Lord.
He said, now this is the instruction he gave them before they actually got the victory in Jericho. He gave them a briefing. I want those things in Jericho. Read on.
They shall come into the treasury of the Lord.
He said they're going to come into the treasury. Those belong to the house's treasury. The Most High's treasury. That belongs to the treasure house of the Most High. Read on.
Verse 20. So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox, and sheep, and ass, with the edge of the sword.
Now jump down to chapter 7. We're going to read we ain't going to read the whole thing. Chapter 7, verse 1.
Joshua chapter 7, verse 1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing.
They said, but something went wrong. Somebody didn't follow the instructions. Somebody decided not to execute the Most High's will. Somebody decided to change the purpose of the treasures. Read.
For Achan.
For who?
Achan.
For Achan. Go ahead. Achan. Go ahead.
Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah.
It had to be a Judite.
It had to be. I got to have it.
It had to be a Judite. Lusted out.
I got to have it.
Jump down to verse 10.
I got to bow.
Verse 10. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face?
Go ahead.
Israel has sinned.
He said Israel sinned. Now the next battle that they went into, they got overthrown in the next city, which they underestimated as being a formidable opponent. They only took about 2,000 to 3,000 men in a city that had about 12,000 men and women. And they got beat. They took off running.
Is this the first loss?
That's the first loss. It's the first actual loss. They took a loss. First actual loss. Read on. Yes, sir.
In Jericho, did it say specifically who violated?
Yes. It said Achan did.
Oh, Achan. Okay.
Achan. Yes, that's his name. That's the violator.
Okay.
But let's read verse 10.
Verse 10 again. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up. Wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face?
So the Most High, so Joshua was crying to the Lord because they got defeated. They suffered the defeat. So the Most High said, get up and get off your face. Read on.
Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them.
I gave them instruction that treasure belongs to me. They're supposed to bring all that silver and gold, all the holy vessels, all the vessels they got in Jericho, that belongs to my house. Read on.
For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and disassembled also. And they have put it even among their own stuff.
Read on.
Verse 12. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies.
Verse 15.
Verse 15. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire.
He said you gotta find out who that man is, and you gotta weed him out of the camp, and you gotta burn him with fire. Yes, sir.
The definition of dissemble said to hide under a false appearance.
To hide, so it's a sneaky man with a.
To conceal or disguise.
So it's a mole. It's a mole. It's a defector amongst the camp. It's somebody that is disguised. They're under disguise, meaning they're not making their intentions known.
It says to pretend that to be which is not.
It's so you got a pretender. So the pretender comes in the camp, and through somebody that has an alternative motive, is causing Israel to lose battles. Because somebody amongst them is disassembled. Somebody amongst them is not pure in their intentions.
Wow.
They're in disguise. There's an Israelite in disguise. Continue.
Verse 15. It shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire.
He said you got to get that man and burn him with fire. Read on.
He and all that he had.
And I've seen this on YouTube when they have these people get burnt up for offending the tribe or whatever tribe in these foreign
Especially
countries.
in Africa.
But Ham is serious about that, bro. They put gas on them out. They throw fire on. They don't just immediately die because the fire is a slow death, bro. They spin around. They run around.
Go around.
And then
they beat them first, and then they beat them where they're barely mobile. Then they dump the gas on them.
Well, it's the worst death out. So I think it's one of what I haven't seen of it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Read on.
Middle of 15. Because he had transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he had wrought folly in Israel.
Now, when you translate that word wrought folly, it's the word nabal, but it's the feminine version of it, which means nabala or nabalia. So it's the feminine form of nabal. So it's somebody that's bringing foolishness into the body, or who's using senselessness or foolishness that's destroying the good that's in the camp. Read on.
Verse 16. So Joshua.
I'm going to get to the point. Real quick. Yeah.
Verse 16.
17. Jump down. We're going to kind of skip through
17. This. And he brought of the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarhites. Mm-hmm. And he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man.
So the Most High, through the process of elimination, tribe, clan, family, household, and then man by man. He's zeroing in, like he says, he put men under a microscope. Read on.
And Achan, middle of 18, Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. Joshua said unto Achan, my son.
Now, listen to how he's talking to him. He's calling him what?
Son.
My son. Meaning he's tender with him. He's not angry with him. Remember, he knows how to separate the sin from the sinner. A lot of us aren't skilled enough to do that. To distinguish how you treat somebody that they're a sinner, you separate that from the sin. He still was able to call him what? My son. What?
My son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord power of Israel.
Read.
And make confession unto him. And tell me now what thou hast done.
Give me the truth. Read on.
Hide it not from me.
Read on.
Verse 20. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord power of Israel.
So he did what? He admitted it. He confessed.
That was all.
I did sin. So now he never said it up until he was weeded out. 36 men died in that next battle. Never apologized for those men's lives. Didn't apologize to those families. He had all that time to come clean, but he waited until the Most High had him be weeded out, narrowed down to get to his actions. Read.
Verse 21. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them, and took them.
He said, then I what?
I coveted them.
He says, I saw 50 a wedge of gold, 50 shekels of silver, a goodly garment, a Babylonish garment. He said, man, he said, I saw it, and through what?
Then I coveted it.
Now we just read
Them.
We just read earlier in Proverbs 28 and 4. Read Proverbs 28 and 4 one more time.
Proverbs 28, verse 4. They that forsake the law,
It says, they that forsake instructions, rules, the Most High's rules. Go ahead.
they that forsake the law, praise the wicked.
Now, why would it be something of a garment that a whole nother nation possesses? What would make him want what belongs to an outfit that belongs to a whole nother nation? Based on what we're reading.
They that forsake the law, praise the wicked.
It says, what would make a man look at what the other nations have to say, man, I want that?
They that forsake the law, praise the wicked.
So obviously what's going on in Achan's mind?
You already forsook the Lord.
He had already forsook the Lord. Before that event ever occurred, he had already forsook the Most High.
So it wasn't the fact that, because you talk about this potter furnace that I guess reveals men.
That condition or situation.
That condition situation. I already made up my mind. The next look I get, I'm taking.
Yeah, he had already meditated on this.
Next opportunity I get,
You don't even want what the other nations have when you're content on where you are with the Most High. Remember, the other nations or what they possess or what the wicked possesses has no bearing over you. It has no power over you. Now, what we do, like Dave Chappelle said, you can't give black folks reparations. He said because Newport and Cadillac will be they'll come together and they'll unify and create the biggest conglomerate and monopoly over the whole world. Sales will go through the roof because who smokes cigarettes and who drive Cadillacs? The nations.
miles all day.
Black and Miles. They make them, but we want to be like who? We want to be like them. So we'll just give that money right back. It's a joke, but because of our desire to want to be like the nations, whether it's good or bad, you know, in the left hand, if it's we want to be like the cartels, we want to be like the mafia, the Costa Nostra, the mafia families. We want to be like, we call ourselves Beanie Siegel. We call ourselves Al Capone.
Yeah.
We call ourselves Gambino. These are Italian mobsters, but we emulate them. We emulate the wicked. When does the emulation of the wicked ever become an actual pull? It's when you've already forsaken who? When you've already forsaken the Most High, then the outside resources of other people start to become a pull on you. It starts to have weight and bear a desire in you. Man, I want what they got because you're not content on serving the Lord. So it wasn't that Achan had just stumbled upon this. It was already where? It was already in his mind. To even want a Babylonian garment, that's not even Israelite flavor. That's not even Israelite spirit. So it was something that where he was at with the Most High, where he was not content on where he was with the Lord, which made it easy to make that decision. That's why he said, I did what?
And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord power of Israel.
By how?
And thus have I done.
What did he do?
When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment.
A goodly Babylonish garment.
Verse 21.
That's not even an Israelite garment. But when do we start to desire what the other nations have, what the wicked have? When we forsake the Most High's commandments. He had already got out of order from following. He had already become disobedient in following.
The environment was already created.
It just needed an opportunity to manifest itself. It had already played out in his mind. Think about this. When you go to Mark chapter 7 verse 24, what does it say?
It's not what goes in the man. What goes out of the man, foul the man.
But what in particular? What in particular?
Mark chapter 7, verse 24.
Start at verse 21.
Mark chapter 7, verse 21.
In the black book.
Start at verse 20.
Page 704.
Start at verse 20, page 704.
Mark chapter 7, verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man.
Read on.
For from within.
It says, the from within, go ahead.
Out of the heart of men.
Out of the minds of men, go ahead.
Proceed evil thoughts.
Where does the action, did he just do it because at that moment it came, he just had to do it?
It was overthrown.
No. He said it came from within. The idea was already there. That means before he even went into Jericho, he was already thinking what?
Evil thoughts.
Man, what can I gain? What can I come up with? What can I obtain before he even went into Jericho? I gotta get something out of this.
He had a little mission going on. He was hoping.
He had a separate mission.
Wow. He
had a separate mission, premeditated. It says from within, out of the hearts. Go ahead.
For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
What else?
Adultery.
What else?
Fornication.
What else?
Murder.
What else?
Theft.
Stop. What else?
Thefts.
What else come out the heart?
Thefts.
So did he just steal it because he had to? Where did the idea of theft come from?
Well, from within.
It came from within. That means this man was already meditating on the idea of gaining something. He just came upon something that he already had in his mind. I need this.
If I get this move this time,
yeah,
I'm gonna take it.
I'm gonna take it.
I'm not gonna let this back. I'm not gonna sit here and do like I did last battle. Right?
No, that was the first battle.
Oh.
But I don't want to be in my condition.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't like my condition that I'm in.
The first time he had a chance, he took it out.
He took the first opportunity.
Man,
that was the first battle.
Wow. Okay.
So what you're looking at is it was already in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says, now let that go and go back to where we're at in Joshua chapter 7.
Joshua chapter 7, verse 21. And when I saw, Joshua chapter 7, verse 21. And when I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them.
He said, then I what?
Then I coveted them.
Where do you covet something at? In your mind. See, you covet things when you're not content on serving the Most High, when that's not enough for you. When serving the Lord doesn't make you content and make you happy, then you begin to covet outside of what the Most High has to offer you. It's not enough. And this is how women start to deviate from the Lord. It starts from within. And they're not happy about their situation. Now, finish that in 21.
God, and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent.
He said, man, I took them and I put them in my tent and I buried them. I hid it from observation. Read on.
And the silver under it. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it.
Now, what we might say is, well, man, you know what? I had to do this. I had to do that. I ain't had no choice but to steal it. Look at my condition. Look at what I was in. Look at what I was going through. I got a family to feed. But but a lot of us will justify moves that deviate from the Most High. Go to Ecclesiastes and give me hold where you at. Get Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 5. Get Ecclesiastes chapter 7. I want you to read verse 5.
Apocryphal, right?
Yep. And Kariah granted that definition of
Mark.
So
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 5.
I'm grabbing it for
And Kariah, give me the definition of justify. Read that.
page 74.
Ecclesiastes, verse 7, verse 5.
Chapter 7 verse 5.
Chapter 7, verse 5. Justify not thyself.
Stop. They say what?
Justify not thyself.
Stop. A lot of people will do what?
Justify.
They'll justify who?
Not
Myself.
thyself.
It says they'll justify themselves. See, a lot of people have. Remember, we read earlier in Proverbs. He says, "All the ways of man are clean where?
In his own eyes.
In his own eyes." So what we'll do is we'll have a preconceived, a supposed legitimate reason to behave, act, and speak a certain way. We'll have a built-in excuse to why we do the things that we do. And the Bible just said what?
Justify not thyself.
It says you do not justify thyself when it comes to what?
Before the Lord.
When it comes to you being obedient to the Most High, there is no excuse. There is no I had a good reason. There is no but I have a family to feed. Because a lot of people think that I got to sell dope or I got to do something illegal because I got to do what I got to do because I got a family to feed. I got a household to take care of. He says, justify not thyself in front of who?
Before the Lord.
Now, what does that mean, Kariah?
Justify. To prove or show to be just or conformable to law, right, justice, propriety, or duty.
Read.
To defend or maintain.
Go ahead.
To vindicate as right. We cannot justify disobedience.
It says what?
It says we cannot justify disobedience.
Can you justify disobedience? Is there any excuses that you can come up with as a man and a woman to say, I had no choice, I had to break the Most High's commandments? But what we do, we will listen to some of the opinions that we come up with. We'll listen to some of the ideas that we collaborate with and conjure up and say, well, I had no excuse, I had to do this. And we think the Most High is okay with it because we feel compelled in our mind that that disobedience can be justified. He says we cannot do what?
Justify disobedience.
There isn't any excuse for being out of order from the Most High. There's no good reason for breaking the Most High's commandments and not executing His will.
My situation is
My
crazy.
circumstance, my situation,
The life I lead.
you know, I was down and out. I was hitting hard times. A lot of people hit hard times. So that means you got to steal, kill, and rob because you have hard times and you're justified.
I was going through a lot.
Because I was going through something. So I had to commit adultery because I wasn't happy.
My marriage wasn't happy.
My marriage wasn't thriving, so I had to commit adultery.
I didn't feel safe.
I didn't feel loved,
I didn't feel loved.
so I had to commit adultery.
No one. You weren't talking to me.
Yeah.
There was no conversation.
Nobody was paying attention to
I
me.
felt neglected.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. You're not.
You didn't hear me out.
It's not. It's
You
not.
weren't listening to me.
You weren't listening to me. I don't feel the way I felt before.
Right.
I haven't felt that way in a long.
You haven't made me feel
time.
special. You don't make me feel special.
God, like what's the name said? It's been a long time since I felt that healing.
Yeah. Yep. But is there a built-in? Is there a justifiable excuse to sin?
No.
He said we cannot what?
We cannot justify disobedience or ingratitude
Or
to our Maker.
or ingratitude for who?
To our Maker.
So how do we show ingratitude? By not following His commandments and looking at what He puts us through as a burden.
This is the definition?
Yes. This is the definition of justify.
Wow.
Read.
It says, we cannot justify insult or incivility to our fellow men.
It says, but we also have a reason why I had to do somebody dirty.
I had to do them bad, bro.
I had to get mine.
Listen, bro. Hey, better him than me.
Get rich or die trying.
Yeah.
I had no excuse.
Yeah.
I was hungry. See, but this is why the scripture says what? Let that definition go. Read that in the Apocrypha.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 5. Justify not thyself before the Lord.
So is there any excuses I can give to the Most High that are going to be valid for breaking his commandments or not seeing him in the right way? No, none at all. None whatsoever. But what about what happened to me growing up? So what happened to you growing up? It's a lot of things that happened to a lot of people growing up.
Everybody went through the curses.
Yeah, everybody suffered.
People get mad when they hear that counsel out.
Yeah.
Everybody went through the curses.
I gotta eat. I gotta survive. Whatever reason that Achan could have came up with, it wouldn't have been good enough. Just like any reason that we come up with to do dirt is not good enough. None of it's good enough.
The serpent deceived.
Yep.
It's the woman you gave me.
Yeah, it's the woman you gave me, right? Jump up to verse 8.
Verse 8.
I got you.
Bind not one sin upon another.
Don't stack sin on top of each other. Because you did dirt. And then you bind another sin by trying to justify it.
Wow. So I'm doubling my sins because I'm doubling my excuses.
Because I'm doubling my excuses. I did dirt. Now I'm making excuses for it. Wow. Now I'm binding sin on top of sin.
It's crazy.
Because somewhere in my mind, I think what? Read on.
For in one thou shalt not be unpunished.
It says for one mistake, you're not going to be unpunished. You're going to answer for everything you do wrong. Every time you step away from the Lord and instruction and follow instructions, there's a penalty you got to pay. There's a cost and a consequence. But a lot of times what we say is what? Read on.
Verse 9. Say not, the Most High will look upon the multitude of my oblations.
He says the Most High will look at all the good that I've done. What about the good that I do? Because that's another reason that we'll justify sin. So what? I made this one mistake. But what about all the good? My good outweighs my bad. So what? I did this wrong.
I'm only human.
What does it matter? I can't. Nobody's perfect. Is that not the built-in excuse we got? I made one mistake and you got to blow me up for it. But what about all the good that I do?
Okay.
Because that's what we think. We think we get credit with the Lord. There is no such thing. Another time we'll explain this. You can read it for yourself in Ecclesiastes, in Ezekiel chapter 33, around verse 11 through 15. Read it for yourself. There is no credit with the Lord. Either you do bad, and the Most High knows you as a person that does bad, and he'll wipe away all the good and remember not the good, or you do good, and the day you decide to do bad, he won't remember the good that you've done. The Most High ain't giving you credit.
In-store credit.
Yeah, in-store credit. You can use this anytime you want. There's no license to sin. So what? You've been good for 10 years. So what? You've been good for 15 years. That one day you decided to deviate, the Most High will judge you by it. And there is no what about the other 14 years? What about the other 9 years that I've been good? I've been on point all this time. I ain't never offended nobody like this. So why are you making it a big deal? Because it is a big deal. Because nobody gets credit with the Most High. There's no justification for sin.
Why is it a problem?
Why is it a problem? Why are you blowing it out of proportion?
I didn't hurt
because that's what we say. You're blowing this. You're making this way too big of an issue.
You just want to point something out and make it and blow it up, make me the subject topic.
You want to have something against me.
Yeah.
You don't like me. No, it's just one little thing I did wrong. Just little. We always microsize, sin. I did one small mistake, and this is how you're gonna deal with me. It's always microscopic.
Yeah.
But he's showing how there is no built-in excuses. There is no justification for being disobedient. And he says also, you can't look and say, well, damn, can't the Most High give me some credit?
Yeah. What's the slack, man?
Cut me some slack. He says, say not thou what?
It says, say not, the Most High will look upon the multitude of my oblations.
So my good outweighs my bad. Read on.
And when I offered to the Most High power, he will accept it.
And the Most High will accept he ain't gonna look at the one mistake I made. He'll be blinded by all the good deeds that I do. He's not gonna judge me by that one mistake, that one error. He'll get over it.
There's a lot of people to deal with.
I'm too small of the Most High is too busy to check me for this situation.
Yeah.
Whatever reason we come up with, it's not good enough. There's really no excuse that Achan could have gave that would have been sufficient for him to steal and take what the Most High said belonged to him. He stole directly from the Lord. Yeah, Ananias and Sapphira
Same game.
in the book of Acts. That all the church was selling land and property, and Ananias and Sapphira in Acts chapter 5, 4 and 5, they kept back part of the money, and the Most High killed them on the spot, husband and wife, because they was both in on the plot.
Did you lie against the Holy Spirit?
Yep. He said, you didn't lie against me, you lied against the Holy Spirit. Because there's no justifiable excuse for the things that we come up with. Even when we think it's right, it's still wrong if it's not what the Most High takes pleasure in. So let that go and go back to Joshua.
Joshua chapter 7 and
verse 23.
Left off 23 times. Joshua 7:23. And they took them out of the midst of the tent and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel and laid them out before the Lord. Verse 24. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? Troubled us.
He said, Why hast thou troubled us? Why did he say that? Because in Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 18 it says what? What does it say in Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 18? Yeah.
Old Testament.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 18.
Yeah. Read that.
It's good to bring this out, man.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 18 reads, Wisdom is better than weapons of war.
Read on.
But one sinner destroyeth much good.
What does it say?
One sinner destroyeth much good.
And this is why Joshua said, Why are you troubling us? It only takes one deviant person to destroy what?
Much good.
This is why the Most High had to burn the garment, the silver, the gold, and everything that belonged to him. Because that silver and gold and that garment cost 36 men their life. That's 36 fathers taken.
Wow.
That's 36 husbands taken. That's 36 brothers taken. That's 36 uncles taken. So the Most High, that has blood on it now. So the Most High said, okay, I got to burn all of it now. That's why Joshua said what? Why troublest thou what?
Israel.
Why troubled us? Why troubled us?
Read.
Why hast thou troubled us? Verse 25 back in Joshua chapter 7. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day.
Read on.
And all Israel stoned him with stones.
Now what was Achan missing?
Question.
Yep. That is correct. What you got?
You lost compassion.
No. What was he missing?
Right, this point right
Yeah. Before for his own, when you quantify his error and you examine his error, what was he missing? He's missing something.
Reason.
He didn't feel bad. He only admitted it when it came out.
Yeah. He waited to the last minute.
He waited to what?
To the last minute.
He waited to the last minute.
Oh.
What's this guy's problem?
Before it happened, he was missing the law.
But before it happened, he was already out of pocket with the Most High.
Right.
He was already disobedient with the instructions.
Right.
He was one to not follow instructions.
There's no remorse.
But why? No remorse. That was said already.
Okay.
He was missing gratitude and appreciation.
He was missing gratitude, appreciation. There's something that Achan was missing that caused this whole incident. That's also critical for us not to miss, and that we can miss if we're not examining the situation properly. Yes, sir. Fear is, and the two statements you gave, you both are correct. You said fear the Lord, then you came back and said fear. Both of them is correct. Fear the Lord, right? So that is instrumental. That is correct. But there's something else that we can miss also. Anybody know what it is? Yes. Absolutely. We just read that one sinner destroyed what? Much good. If you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 25, it says what?
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 25. That there should be no schism in the body,
Read on.
but that the members should have the same care one for another.
Everybody should love each other. Read on.
And whether one member suffer,
Because we we function together as a body. We're a unit. We're members of one body. Your toes are a member of your body. Your fingers are a member of your body. Your eyes are a member of your body. If you hinder the feet and chop the feet off, it affects the whole body. Your hands are decapitated, it affects the whole body. If your eyes are plucked out, it affects the whole body. We're all members of one body, meaning we're all interconnected. So read on.
verse 26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it.
That means that if I make a mistake, then guess who suffers?
All the members suffer with it.
So we're all interconnected. Yes, that is something that this man failed to recognize. That my actions will play out and harm not just myself, but the people around me. That is one, but I'm looking for something more specific. What is Achan missing in his life or in his mind that could have prevented this whole situation? Just kind of want to see where the minds are.
Love?
Love, yep. Love, what else?
What pleases the Most High?
Yep. Let's get to the answer because I want to see if anybody thought of this. Go to Ecclesiastes in the Bible, and I want you to start Ecclesiastes in the Bible, and I want you to start at chapter 8, and I want you to start at verse 5. I want to see if anybody thought of this.
Chapter 8.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 5.
Read that.
Whoso keepeth the
It
commandments.
said, now we read that earlier, keeping the commandments, right? It said, that's one thing he failed to do was keep the instructions he was given. He stole what belonged to the Most High, that was consecrated to the Most High. He said, he that keepeth the commandments, read.
Shall feel no evil thing.
It said Achan could have prevented this whole situation if he would have kept the commandments, right? He could have prevented this. But it's going to be more specific. Read.
And a wise man's heart
It says, and a wise man's heart, read on.
discerneth both time and judgment.
It says, what did he fail in? His discernment. He was unable to discern what?
Time and judgment.
No, time and judgment. Within these two walls, between these two doors, all men make mistakes. The title of the class is this opportunity knocking? How do you know when opportunity's knocking? How do you know when it's in your favor? How do you know when it's the enemy? You don't. See, the mistake that people make is that they don't discern these two things. All men's, he said, the trial of a man is in his what?
Reason.
Is in his reasoning. This is rationality, right? The two constraints that mankind lives in and lives in between is between time and judgment. And if you don't have wisdom, you can't operate correctly within time and judgment. You are displaced. That means all your actions are out of time. That means all of your actions are out of season. That means that all of your actions, all of your doings, your speeches, they have a negative effect, meaning they come with the judgment. They have a negative effect on the people around you. But if you don't have wisdom, you can't discern either one. So what we do, because we lack wisdom, we do things at the wrong time, and we do things for the wrong reason, and it has a negative effect on the back end. Because we don't understand that in life, all your decisions, everything you do and you think of, is held between those two parameters, time and judgment. Although it may be a good idea, but is the idea right time? Paul said, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are what? Can you get that scripture? What you got? It's in 1 Corinthians chapter 10. What you got?
You correlate the timing with the hands.
How can we relate it?
Right.
That's a great question. Y'all hear what he said?
Mm-hmm.
How can you relate the timing of Achan with the right judgment? We're going to answer that question. But I want to get this.
1 Corinthians 6.
Chapter 10,
1
verse 10 and verse 23.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 23 reads, all things are lawful for me,
That's why Paul said all things are lawful for me. Go ahead.
but all things are not expedient.
He says, but all things are not appropriate.
Expect.
They're not expedient. Although I may be able to do, I have a liberty that the Most High has given me. That doesn't mean that the liberty should be acted upon. How do you know? Read on.
All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not.
He says, because although it may benefit me on an individual basis, there's things that I can do that Paul said that may benefit me on a personal level.
It's true.
But it won't do any good for who?
For the others.
He says they edify, it won't build other people up. My personal gratifications and pursuits are only maybe good for me, but it doesn't benefit nobody around me.
Might be toxic for somebody else.
It might be toxic for somebody else. It may be harmful for somebody else. It doesn't build anybody else up. I may be the only one reaping the benefits, but how does Paul know it's not good? Because it may not build another person up. So what Paul's saying is, he lives between knowing what is appropriate and what's not appropriate based upon who fares the benefit, who receives the benefit of his actions. What else does he say, Mawala?
Come. It says, but all things edify not.
What else?
Let no man seek his own.
It said, let no man what?
Seek his own.
So how does Paul weigh time and judgment?
Wow.
Let no man seek his own.
How does Paul weigh time and judgment?
Let no man seek his own.
So even though things may be lawful for him, the way he weighs time and judgment, his decisions are based upon, man, is this going to benefit me or is this going to benefit the next man? Every decision he makes sure it doesn't just benefit who?
Himself.
That's how he's able to stay in judgment.
Stay aligned with the wisdom of God.
That's how he's able to stay aligned with correct judgment. That's how he qualifies his judgment. Am I the only one that's going to benefit from this decision, or is everybody around me going to benefit from this decision? That's how I know it's the right time or the right judgment. Who benefits from this decision? Now, how do we know Achan didn't understand time, or his inability to quantify time, where he made the inappropriate judgment? Go to Joshua chapter 8, read verse 1 and 2.
Joshua chapter 8, verse 1, page 171. Black Bible. Joshua chapter 8, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise. Go up to Ai. See,
Ai.
see, I have given into the hand of the king.
Now,
Ai.
now after Jericho, the next battle was Ai. And what did the Most High say?
See, I have given into the hand of the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. Verse 2, and thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourself.
He says the next battle was going to be for who? You. Jericho was the first battle going into the land of Canaan. The first spoils of war, like the Most High ordered, belonged to who?
Himself. The Most High.
Even in victory, the Most High was teaching the children of Israel the law of tithes.
Wow.
Jericho was for the Lord. Ai was for who?
The people.
It was for the people. All Achan had to do was wait. You mean to tell me all he had to do was wait one more battle and he would have got his?
And keep his life.
And keep his family life. And keep his household. And keep his kids. And keep his cattle. And keep his sheep.
I gotta have some.
You know what that I gotta go for myself mentality does? It displaces you to where you make the wrong judgment at the wrong time. That's what that selfish nature does. That's what that disobedient nature does when you go for self. You're out of time and you're out of judgment. Because you're only thinking about yourself. All the man had to do was wait one more damn city. AI was right up the road from Jericho. And he would have got his portion. But how many of us operate on that, I got to get mine because I'm not happy with where I'm at now, and I want mine first, when all the most I was teaching them was, get me mine off the top.
Right.
The first battle is mine. The rewards and the spoils from this first battle, that belongs to me. This next battle, take that up and split that up. You got to learn that even in your victory, who comes first? The Most High comes first. That's an example of tights.
Oh, man.
That's how you know that Achan made the wrong decision, the wrong judgment based upon time. All he had to do was wait. All he had to do was wait one more damn city, one more damn battle, and everything would have been better. He wouldn't have been struggling. He wouldn't have been so damn thirsty. But a lot of us are thirsty because we can't wait. Because I don't like the condition that I'm in now, so I have no patience whatsoever, and I'm thirsty. And when you're thirsty, you're out of judgment and you're out of time. Every decision you make lies within those two constraints. Get the definition of constraint. And go back to where we was at in Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 5. Read that.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 8 and verse 5 reads, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
Now, give me the definition. I want the philosophy definition of constraint. I want the definition of constraint also. I'm sorry, not constraint. Construct. Because I said earlier, construct. Because I said that all of our decisions they lie between these two constructs, time and judgment. Although what may seem to be appropriate to you doesn't mean it's the right time. Although that you may feel like there's an opportunity, doesn't mean because the opportunity benefits you that it's going to benefit everybody around you. You have to stay in accordance to the law in order to make sure you're using wisdom so that all your decisions are on time. That all the judgments you make benefit the people around you, not just yourself.
Wow. Construct.
Get the definition of construct.
Construct in philosophy. A construct is an object which is ideal. That is.
And so it may sound like a good idea. It's ideal. It's an object, something I want. That sounds right. It's something that I want. It sounds right. It sounds appropriate. Read.
That is an object of the mind or of the thought.
But it's an object of the what?
Of the mind or of the thought.
Go ahead.
Meaning that its existence may be said to depend on the subject's mind. This is valuable to you.
Right.
It's what you want. It didn't really have value. It is valuable to you.
Yep. Read that definition one more time. It's something you created and told yourself that you wanted. Well, the Most High is okay with you wanting something. That's why it says, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. Seek and you shall find. But does that mean that it's the appropriate time? Does that mean it's the appropriate judgment? How do you know it's a blessing? How do you know it's a once in a lifetime opportunity? How do you know it's what the Most High wants from you? How do you know it's time to go get what you want? You don't. The only way you can know is you got to stay in order with the Most High. Because otherwise, you'll be out of both. Read that definition one more time. Can somebody else give me another definition?
That's 1828.
No, that's philosophy.
Yeah.
In philosophy.
Yeah. In philosophy, a construct is an object which is ideal. We talked earlier in the classroom about
an object is something that you want, that you feel like you deserve.
It's almost an idol.
It is almost an idol, but it's something you tell yourself that you want.
I got to have it.
I got to have this idea. I created this ideal. I got this opinion, and I feel like I need this. This is what Achan did. He saw, he wanted, and he moved on it.
Yep.
He acted on it. It started in the mind. It's an ideal. But ideals aren't always in symmetry with time and judgment.
True.
Just because you created it and it's something you want, it still doesn't mean that it's appropriate for you at this time to go pursue it. It doesn't mean that it's appropriate because it's going to benefit you. What about the benefit of everybody else? Paul made every decision, whether to act on it or not, based upon who's it going to benefit. That's why he says all things are lawful to me, but all things edify not. All things don't build up everybody. And if it ain't benefiting everybody, it may be lawful for me, but I'm not pursuing it. I'm not pursuing this ideal. How many ideals do we have in our minds that lead us down the wrong path? What you got?
Construct. It says constructs are hypothetical. They exist as concepts, but not as tangible entities.
But we're going to make it a tangible entity.
It gets into it.
Go ahead.
It says some constructs, however, become so familiar and ingrained in common use that most people assume their manifest existence.
Oh my gosh.
It's real to me.
Yeah.
It's what
I'm gonna make it real.
I'm gonna make it real because I'm gonna go find what I feel like is gonna make me happy. I'm gonna go pursue happiness. I'm gonna go get what I've been wanting all my life.
I'm gonna turn my dream into a reality.
I'm gonna turn my dream into a reality. But that doesn't mean it's the right time. Doesn't mean it's the right judgment. Meaning it's going to affect you in the most beneficial way possible. Doesn't mean it. Who knows? A lot of us make decisions or have ideals. Or I like the definition. Read it again.
Constructs are hypothetical. They exist as concepts, but not as tangible entities. Some constructs, however, become so familiar and ingrained in common use that most people assume their manifest existence.
He said most people assume they manifest that this is going to be real. I'm going to turn my dream into a reality. I'm going to make it real. I'm going to get what I want. Okay. You might be out of season though. You won't know this unless you're in accordance with obedience. That's the only thing that can guarantee you that the outcome is going to benefit you the way you plan.
You know, because in the world, we get so used to game planning, strategizing, and the result is sometimes beneficial. That when we come to the truth, we think if I take the same worldly concepts, the same worldly strategy to win, I'm going to win the truth as well.
Yep.
If I hustle the same way, if I scheme the same way, if I plot the same way, if I put the same amount of works in, I'm going to get what I want because it worked in the world.
I'm going to manifest this.
Yep.
It really is another aspect of manifesting.
I've actually heard people say, I'm going to make my way work.
Yeah.
I heard people say that in real life. I'm going to make my way work. You're trying to create an idea that's a fallacy. And you have no idea if the Most High is in agreement with this. Mm-hmm. But you're trying to manifest something that's in your mind. This is the root behind time and judgment. Finish that in Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 5 in the Bible reads, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing.
Read.
And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
Read on.
Because to every purpose.
It says, because to every purpose. Remember, the Most High said what? In Isaiah 1 and 11. What did Most High say in Isaiah 1 and 11? Anybody remember? He said what? Yep.
Yeah, what's your reasoning behind this?
What did he say? Yeah, read it.
Isaiah 1 and verse 11. To what purpose?
He said what?
To what purpose?
Go ahead.
Is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me?
No. Isn't that a question the Most High wants to know?
No.
And the Most High says also, with every purpose. Read that again, my Waller.
Because to every purpose.
It said, but with every purpose. The Most High said what?
There is time and judgment.
So there's a time to pursue anything and everything. There's a time that's appropriate. There's a time that's not. There's some people that'll reap the benefits of your decisions, or your ideals. And there's times that you're the only one that's going to reap the benefits of your ideals. There's sometimes that what you create is out of season and it's unnecessary and it's senseless. And there's times that you should have just waited and you would have watched the Most High give it to you anyway. But nobody realizes that everything that I do and every decision I come up with, it has to be between both of these, and it must satisfy time and judgment for it to be appropriate. And the only thing that can guarantee that is your obedience to the Most High. Everything else you'll find is a mistake. Just like we're reading about Achan. All Achan had to do was wait one more damn week or two, go to the next city, and he could have got all the spoils he wanted. But he was out of time. He made a selfish decision, but affected everybody. So the judgment was wrong. Miscalculated. How often do we do that? 2 Kings chapter 5. 2 Kings chapter 5. Straight to the point. Give me verse 25.
2 Kings chapter 5, verse 25. Page 288. Nope. Page 288. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 25, page 288. But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha said unto him, Whence comest thou, Gehazi?
So this is after Elisha healed Naaman of his leprosy. And he rejected a reward. So here comes Gehazi back in the house, standing in front of his master. Read on.
And he said, Thy servant went no whither.
He said, I didn't go nowhere. Read.
Verse 26. And he said unto him, Went not mine heart with thee?
He says, didn't my mind go with you? You said you didn't go nowhere, but you didn't take my mind and my intention with you. You didn't take my intention with you. I just told Naaman, I don't want no reward. Give the Most High the praise. I don't want no reward for healing your leprosy. Did you go and leave my presence with that same intention? Or you had an alternative motive, an ulterior motive? Read on.
Went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee?
Go ahead.
Is it a time to receive money?
He said, what?
Is it a time to receive money?
He said, what did Elisha ask Gehazi? Is it what?
Is it a time to receive money?
He asked him that question because you know what? A lot of people don't calculate what? Time and judgment. So a lot of people go for what they feel like is right and owed to them. And they're always out of season by doing so. Because I got to go get mine. I got to go make something shake. I got to go make something happen. I can't be in this condition forever. So I'm going to force the course of the river. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? You can, and you will be out of time.
It says, hardly do we guess it right.
Well, so it says, is it time for what?
Is it a time to receive money?
Sometimes it's not time to receive money. He just showed him that this situation, this healing that I provided Naaman, it wasn't time to get a reward. This was an opportunity to give the Most High the glory. It wasn't about me or reaping the benefits of my labor or reaping the benefits of the cure or the medicine provided. This was a time for the Most High to shine. Who has that mind frame to know that my efforts is only for the purpose of letting the Most High be magnified? Whose mind is geared that way?
The wise.
The wise. This ain't about what I gain right now. This not about how hard I work and I better see some action. I better see some reciprocate some blessings and some benefits of my labor, or I better eat the fruit of my labor. Sometimes it's time to just let the Most High get the glory for what you do. But those that are out of time, they don't understand that. They don't have the right judgment, so they feel like, man, it's my time to shine. It's my time to come up. I've been doing this for a long time. I better get something, and I gotta get something. I gotta have something to show for all the work that I've been doing for the Lord. I ain't got nothing to show for. Read.
God, is it a time to receive money and to receive garments.
What did Achan just take?
Garment.
He took that damn Babylonish garment.
Same thing happened with your boy Gehazi. It was about them garments again.
That's where we at. He took them garments, bro. Cause sometime it is. I feel like I don't got enough clothes, so I just steal clothes. I just take. I gotta go buy some. I ain't been shopping in a while. I gotta do something for me. I gotta go splurge. You know how many brothers take a whole check and splurge, and it be out of season? They just blow money. They just blowing money because they have an itch and they want to scratch it, and they just go blow money. You know how many men we know that just blew through resources because they got that itch, and I just gotta feel like I got an accomplishment. I gotta feel like I deserve something from what I've been doing. So I'm just going. I gotta get a victory. I feel like I gotta get a win. So I'm just gonna blow these resources so I can get a feeling. Maybe it ain't time for that feeling. Did you ever think about that? He said to everything, to every purpose there is time and judgment. You better analyze both. Have you meditated on time and judgment, or you just made a decision based upon your ideals? Read on.
Middle of 26. Is it a time to receive money, to receive garments, and olive yards, and vineyards, and sheep, and oxen, and men servants?
I don't got the money, but I'm going to eat good this month. I'm not going to budget nothing. I'm finna go get me some steaks. I'm finna get me some lambs. I'm finna go cook good, eat good.
Time to live.
Listen, I'm not penny pinching. I'm not living frugal. I gotta go feel like, man, I've been working hard. I need that steak dinner.
Damn that.
Damn that pitching pennies and being frugal and going off the $5 menu. And, I'm finna eat big. I'm finna go out. Let's get your shoes on. We finna go to Ruth Chris. we finna go. I'm about to blow money I know I ain't got. I know I don't have this money, but you know what? I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
That's the real talk. Yeah.
That's the real talk.
I work hard.
Yeah.
I'll make it back up somehow. But he said, Most High, he understand.
Yeah.
But I don't want to heat them beans up and hit that crock pot up. I don't want to make the lentils and chop them potatoes up. But I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna splurge on myself. How do you know it's the time?
Because I want to feel good versus I want to apply wisdom. Because remember, you were talking about wisdom and the will of the Lord.
Yeah.
So the wise man's concept is that his pleasure is in the Most High's will being executed.
That's the lie. That's the covetousness that's really speaking. That's not wisdom speaking.
This is wisdom because I want to feel good. But necessarily, it's not. The Most High never agrees with me feeling how I want to feel.
No.
The Most High almost becomes the adversary.
The judgment is wrong.
Come on.
His judgment is wrong. And men disqualify themselves because they don't recognize neither one. They don't recognize time, neither do they recognize judgment. They don't need them two things. Disqualify them from serving the Most High. That's how that be the origin of a lot of our mistakes, and that's what propels us on this self-indulging mentality that I gotta find pleasure. Because I've been doing this for a minute and I don't see nothing. I don't see no benefits. When all I have to do is wait. All I do is be patient, man.
I'm tired of hearing.
I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of doing the same thing without seeing no results. Not knowing that the Most High is drawing you out.
It's very close to the mind of Cain. Because the mind of Cain, you always accentuate that Cain forced the ground.
Of course.
The ground naturally is going to manifest and grow whatever you put in it.
If you tend to the ground, and if you're patient, you'll wait on the ground. But if you're going to stimulate the ground, that means I'm going to force the ground I'm going to agitate the ground to force the ground to produce what I want. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9, and then hold that, and we're going to come right back to where you at. You're in
2 Kings.
You're in 2 Kings, right? Yeah. Hold that. 2 Peter 3 and 9.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
See, what we think is the Most High taking too long. The Most High said he was going to bless me, but the Most High's time frame I'm not in agreement with.
Yep.
So what do? We try to make things happen and force situations, force circumstances that all we had to do was just be patient with. And being obedient, just being obedient to what the Most High put us in and being content with what he gave us. But I'm not content in my situation. So I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to provoke a situation that brings about an advantage to me. And I'm doing this, and what happens? He says, men, they do what?
The Lord is not slack.
It said the Lord is not what?
The Lord is not slack.
What?
Concerning his promise.
We think the Most High take too damn long.
Wow.
I don't see nothing changing. I don't see any advantages. I'm just working. I don't see nothing going my direction. I don't see how the Most High is doing things in my favor. He's taking too long. But when the Most High made a promise to you, you just have to wait until the situation is in your favor, until it unfolds. But a lot of us don't want to do that. We say the Lord take too long. Read on.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness.
They count what?
Slackness.
Slackness is time. Men make the huge mistake of making decisions and forcing ideals because they don't like the time constraint that they're on with the Lord. Because they feel like the Most High doesn't see me. He doesn't recognize my need. He's not going to reward me for what I'm doing. He doesn't pay attention to me. He doesn't love me enough. This is taking too long. So what we do is we start forcing things. And what happens after that? Read on.
As some men count slackness, but it's long suffering.
It said, but the Lord is what?
Long suffering.
What else?
To usward.
To who?
To usward.
Did we forget that this is a long game and the race is not to the swift? It's not about how fast you obtain what you want. It's about you submitting to the Most High, and then you get what you want over time. But in the meantime, you have to have a certain mentality. That mentality is in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. In the meantime. How were you at in 2 Kings, Ahmad?
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6. But godliness with contentment.
It says, in the meantime, you just have to be okay with being what?
Contentment.
No, you just have to be okay with just doing things the godly way. The godly way isn't always the most convenient for you on a personal level, but it benefits the body. The godly way, you may not reap the immediate satisfaction of your effort, but it's the right time. The godly way may seem inconvenient to you on a personal level. He said, but godliness with what?
Godliness with contentment.
But being okay with where you are and not trying to force something more than what the Most High put you in and what he gave you, he said is what?
Is great gain.
That's actually a benefit. That's actually progress. That's actually success. When you can be okay with wherever the Most High have you at, and you're not trying to come up and conjure and force the Most High's hand to bless you. Because when you're not content, then comes the wicked one with some bait. Then comes the wicked one with a false opportunity. Then comes the wicked one with a false advantage, which is just deceit and a trap. Then you're vulnerable to what Satan has to offer you, because then you're jealous at the envious or at the wicked. You're envious at the wicked. Now you're starting to lose a battle in temptation. You're easily tempted when you're not content. Read.
Says, verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world.
It said because you was born with what?
Nothing.
You were born with nothing. No socks, no shoes, no nothing. You had nothing when you came out of your mother's womb. Read.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain.
And it's guaranteed that what?
We can carry nothing out.
You're not taking nothing with you. So what's all the discontentness for? What's all the anger for? What's all the bitterness for? You're not leaving with nothing anyway. You're not taking anything you accumulate in this world is not going with you. So what's the fuss about? Why are you so impatient? You can't take it anyway. It's not coming with you. It doesn't count. The things that you pout about that you don't have really doesn't count anyway. Read on.
And having food and raiment.
It says, therefore, just having what?
Having food and raiment.
Did you eat? Did the Most High feed you? Did the Most High? Do you really need a Babylonian garment? Do you really need a Fendi belt and a Prada belt and a Chanel belt? Do you really need red bottoms? Do you really need Gucci clothes and Versace? Do you really need that? Or do you have a shirt to put on? Do you have pants to put on? Are you content with what the Most High got you at? Read on.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Go ahead.
But they that will be rich fall into a temptation.
It said, but those that want abundance, like we read earlier, you become Satan's bait. Because you want more than what the Most High has given you. So therefore, you make erratic decisions. You make selfish decisions that are out of time, that are out of season. Because you want more than what the Most High gave you. The key to success is to be okay with where the Most High got you and what He got you with and what He got you doing. And not be upset about it. And if He got you in a position of giving, then give to the best of your ability. He said, whatever I find thy hand so doing, do with all thy might.
You know, when war goes into class, it goes into a certain point. Even the Most High blesses Israel more. He blesses you with more than Israel wants more. Because sometimes Israel's like, I'm not getting enough. I want more. The Most High will give more. And the more we get or receive will not be enough.
It's not, because it says the eyes of man are never satisfied. So man is never satisfied in what the Most High give him. It's never enough. He said, but you got to be content with what?
With food and raiment.
What else?
It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation.
It said, but the devil can tempt you when you're unhappy serving the Lord. You become Satan's bait. Read on.
The devil's bait.
Yeah.
Wow.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
It said, and what caused you to go astray?
Many foolish and hurtful lusts.
What else?
Which drown men.
And they do what?
Drown men.
They take your focus off of who? Serving the Lord. Now what you want and what you don't have is more important than what you're doing for the Lord. Read on.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Which while some coveted
And
after,
said, while some do what?
Some coveted after.
What did Acaz say he did wrong?
Coveted.
He said, I saw this garment and I coveted it. I wanted it. Because I was looking at what I didn't have. He didn't actually need the Babylonian garment. He just wanted it. He wasn't happy with his condition. Read on.
They have erred from the faith.
And what happens when I covet more than what the Most High gives me?
Wow.
They have erred from the faith.
They err from the faith. I no longer want to serve the Most High anymore. And what I don't have becomes a more important pursuit. And that's why Elisha had to tell Gehazi, is it time for you to get these things? Because you're making these things the focus. Finish that?
Wow.
And pierced themselves through.
Yeah, go ahead.
With many arrows.
And go ahead and finish where you at, Ahmad.
Time back in 2 Kings, chapter.
You're in chapter 5.
2 Kings chapter 5, verse 26. And he said unto him, went not my heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money and receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servants? The leprosy therefore of Naaman.
Now we know the answer to that question is what? Maid servants and men servants is help. A lot of us are tired of doing things by ourselves. We want some help. So I'm going to find help by any means. How do you know it's time for you to go find help?
I'm going to force the ground.
How do you know it's time to force the ground to try to make that happen? How do you know it's the right decision? How do you know that's going to benefit what you're doing and the people that you're doing your service to? A lot of us make these out of season, out of tune decisions. And we tell ourselves we're justified in this. No, you're never justified. Like we explained, you're never justified with being disobedient. There is absolutely no justification for disobedience, even if it's something that you lack, that you want.
Something good can come from this. I had to make this mistake because if I hadn't made this mistake, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I had this situation.
Exactly. Or you err from the faith, and they say you're going to be pierced through with many sorrows. They're going to come with wounds. Finish that?
Now, verse 27. The leprosy, therefore, of Naaman shall cleave unto thee.
He said, now, that leprosy that I took off Naaman, he said, now that's going to be on you. And who else? Read.
Shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever.
He said, for what?
Forever.
Now you're going to take a generational curse with you. Now I'm going to curse you, and I'm going to curse every one of your seed that come after you. All of your family from this point forward will inherit that leprosy because of what you wanted that I didn't qualify or say that this was the time to make this move. Because you was out of season with your desires. Because you was out of season with that judgment, with that decision that you made. Therefore, you shall receive a generational curse that's going to cleave to you and your seed forever. It's never coming off. Now, how much is our inappropriate actions, ill-managed decisions, or unwarranted thirst and lust, how much does it cost us? Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. That's why the best thing to do is be obedient. You can never go wrong. He says, he that's obedient to the commandments, he shall never feel any hurt. I don't got nothing to worry about if I stay in order. That's the benefit of being in order. Finish that and let that go and finish that in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 6 and 7. And then last verse, Hebrews 6 and 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8.
Yeah, verse 6.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 6. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment.
Yeah, so for every intention that man got, that doesn't mean because he has an intention, doesn't mean it's the right time, and doesn't mean it's going to really benefit the way he thinks it is. Read on.
Therefore, the misery of man.
It said, therefore what?
Therefore, the misery of man.
It said, therefore the what?
The misery of man.
Go ahead.
Is great upon him.
It says, therefore, this is where you find the multitude of man's ill decisions. This is what makes men miserable, because they make bad decisions and they make decisions that are out of season. And that's the misery of man. Bad timing, bad decision making. And men's lives are held within those two constraints. All things are lawful, but all things don't edify. All things don't build up the people around you.
But the crazy part is those same men, over time, blame the Most High.
They do.
Every time.
They do. That's why I said in Proverbs 24, he said, verse 5 or 6. Proverbs 24 and 6. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 6 reads, for by a wise counsel.
He said, for by what?
Wise counsel.
That's why you need to do what?
Counsel.
That's why you got to have counsel. You got to have good counsel. Because man don't understand time and judgment. That's the origin of his mistakes. You make piss poor decisions at the wrong time. And you think it'll benefit you just because you want something so bad. Because you think it's an opportunity. And it wasn't. That's why I said, because for wise counsel, what?
For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war.
He says you're supposed to go to war after. You're supposed to fight for something after you've done what?
Thou shalt make thy war.
Yeah, you're supposed to counsel first. Did you get counsel before you went about that pursuit? Read on.
God. And in multitude of counselors, there is safety.
So what did the Most High put around us to keep us safe?
Counselors.
From ourselves. From the ideals that we create and that we pursue. From the false ideas that this is a blessing or this is an opportunity that I got to take it, I got to go for it. Or this is, why are you trying to block my blessings, brother? Why are you trying to hinder me from being happy, brother? Why sisters hating on me? Because they tell you no. That's why we look at it. We look at it all wrong. He said, but by the multitude of counselors, there's what?
There is safety.
How do you make sure that you double check to make sure that you're in accordance with time and judgment? You counsel about everything.
It's like a baby that sees candy on the ground. And he's mad because you won't let him get the candy off the ground. That candy make the baby sick.
Yep. They don't see it. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10, last verse. It's already 10:30. Hebrews 6 and 10.
Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your works and labor of love.
What's one thing that you can guarantee?
The Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
But remember, men count slackness. They count time. They say, man, it's the Most High is taking too long. As if the Most High is going to forget about you.
He's slacking.
Like the Most High is slacking. He's taking time off. But the scripture says the Most High is not unrighteous to do what?
To forget your work and labor of love.
Go ahead.
Which ye have showed toward his name.
And what you're doing for his name. And what else?
And that ye have ministered to the saints.
And that all your efforts have been going to who?
The saints.
So have you been reaping the benefits of all your actions? No, they've been going to who?
The saints.
But who's going to pay you back?
The Most High.
Who's going to cover you in the back end?
The Most High.
So did the Most High going to forget about you?
Nah.
He sees the work that you're doing for the saints. All you have to do is wait. The Most High will take care of you. Put your hand to the plow and work. Don't be grieved at what the Most High put in front of you.
Is this connected to he didn't look in the back? He's not fit for the kingdom?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because
I'm looking back because of I'm not happy in what I'm not content on what I'm doing.
Is that close to Lot's wife also?
Oh yeah, she just did. She didn't. She was a memorial of an unbelieving soul. Is what her stone statue represented. She was a memorial of an unbelieving spirit. Because I don't believe the Most High going to take care of me, so I want to go back to what I had before. I want to go back to where I was at before because I really don't believe that the Most High is going to help me out. But he said what?
God, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name.
Read.
And in that ye have ministered to the saints.
And this is why a lot of people don't minister to the saints. This is why a lot of people don't work and do their work to benefit the body. Because they think the Most High is unjust. They think this is what keeps them hesitant or tentative or not going full-fledged 100% into what they're doing. This is why they won't give their whole heart to what they're doing. Because they really don't think the Most High is going to take care of them on the back end. There's some doubt involved. Read on.
And do. And do minister.
And do minister. So we'll end it with that. And we'll say shalom, the water for watching. We'll be back in action on Friday. Shalom to everybody online. And shalom and shout out to everybody in class. Make it home safe and sound. Any questions, post it on the thread. We'll probably be able to get to it. If not now, we're going to go ahead and cut it off. But hopefully if there's any questions, we can answer them on Friday or get back to it on Wednesday. All right, shalom.